Tonight on 8.5-bit, we go wild and nothing else. Welcome, friends of all designs, to episode 258 of 8.5-bit. Like 3 times in the history I've called it 8.5-bit. And
Nice.
Rewind.
Oh.
I'll put it in anyway. Welcome, friends of all designs, to episode 258 of 8.5-bit. I'm your host, Paul, and joining me today are my good friends Sam the Not James.
Hi.
Amy the Not James.
Hi.
And Callum the Not James.
Hi.
I'm much cooler than James.
We replaced James 3 times because that's how much he sucks. Could everyone please give the finger to the camera right now? Enjoy your honeymoon, bitch. And also your lovely wife.
We love you, James.
Since the last episode, James has actually been married. He's now in his honeymoon. I didn't talk about the wedding at all because I would have been talking about it beforehand. But for their first dance, instead of dancing, they played a round of Smash Brothers.
And he got wrecked.
He did get wrecked because Cheryl is a much better video game player than James is. But it was funny looking at their faces, especially even in the official photos, because James is having a jolly good time playing, and Cheryl is dead set, just going to beat the shit out of him. It went very well. I was actually a little bit unsure about how it would play with the larger crowd. Obviously, not all gamers, but it worked well, especially since it went to sudden death, and everyone understands that. It's like Cheryl won. Yeah.
Of course.
Yes. So what a week! A lot of things have happened. We've had announcement about Cuphead. We've played some video games. That's about it.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Nothing else important happened.
Oh, I mean, there was a Stadia announcement, I guess. Yeah. That's all good. So I guess we'll start the show talking about the intro game, which is, of course, the Outer Wilds, which we will be spending the next 120 minutes on. Okay. And of course, because sometimes people can just be avert to the obvious, we will talk about E3 later. So hi everyone, how is everyone going?
Doing all right?
Yeah, not bad.
Amy, it's been a while since you've been on the show.
It has been.
How much have you been playing since you've been gone?
Lots and lots of fake granddaughter.
Are you just over video games at a little point of your life at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But fake granddaughter's good.
You know what? Sometimes I'm over video games. Mm-hmm. And then I go, but I have to.
Yes. I've been like that with my Switch. It's sort of sitting in the corner staring at me.
For the 4 people.
You haven't played me. Please play me.
Yeah. I look at the VR. I'm like, I haven't bought anything on VR this week. I better go buy something. Oh, I should add that to the list of things.
The thing you bought this week.
Yeah. So quickly.
What type of VR?
Beat Saber had a new song pack announced, which I have to live on because I'm on Sony, and it's Imagine Dragons. I'm like, I don't care about Imagine Dragons. I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it anyway.
Yes.
And then I went, it's like, you know what? Not exactly an album that I'd put on, but that's fine. They're fine. They're acceptable.
There's nothing wrong with them.
I knew like 4 of the songs. I'm like, yeah, okay. I can live with this.
Yep.
I also bought a VR game.
What did you buy?
I bought Super Hot VR.
Super Hot VR.
That's a
is
good
very
choice.
That's fun.
Good choice.
Anyone else buy a VR game?
I sold my VR.
What kind of VR was it?
Original Vive.
Oh, of course. Get rid of that shit.
So now I'm looking towards the Quest, I think. Maybe. It's calling to me slightly.
The Quest has had a few things, so you can sideload Beat Saber games into it, fine.
That's a big one.
They also added Steam VR support to it, and then I was told to remove it. But I mean,
But
the
it's
cat's
there.
out of the bag, it's there. So
I'm sure there's a mod somewhere.
yeah, because I think it was in the original version of like the desktop VR thing or something. So the official version. So but there's like a non-official version you can use. Anyway, this is not what the show is about. This show is about the Outer Wilds.
Yeah, definitely.
The greatest video game ever made. And Callum agrees.
Yes, it is a very pretty game.
Oh,
There you go,
I
then.
mean, like, yeah,
It's solid. 10 out of 10
visually
review.
it's fine. I'd only give it a 10 out of 10 visually. I mean, like the rest is really standout. So Sam and I have both played this game to completion,
Yes.
and I consider it potentially one of my favorite games ever. Where do you sit with it?
Definitely.
Okay.
100% right up there.
Now, part of the problem is we're not going to be able to sell you on this game because almost every single thing about this game that is interesting is a spoiler. So we can't really tell you anything other than the premise and then say the premise is sold. And then Callum can say, yeah, the premise didn't work for him. And that's the entire conversation. Is that about it, everyone?
Okay, I might
Yeah, I think
buy
that covers it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I at least have justification why the premise didn't work for me.
Yeah, but it's not good.
It's just
But
because I'm
it
bad.
is justification.
I might just get you to tilt your mic down.
He's not
just a little
blaming
bit,
the
Cal.
game,
It's just because I'm bad.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
so
Oh,
it kind of works.
We've got so many mics. I'm just trying to balance everyone up. All right. I think Callum got a bit too relaxed.
I did.
There we go. Great. Outer Wilds is a small game that about 6 years ago or so was released as a student project, which was very, very fun. I very much enjoyed it, where you are a little space traveler. You start on a planet, you get on a ship, you fly out, and it's a small miniature universe with a small number of planets on it. But each of those planets is really, really unique. So, for instance, one of the ones that is pretty much used in all the previews, so we'll keep using that one, is the Hourglass Twins, which... one is a planet that's somewhat hollow, and the other is a planet covered with sand. And over the course of the game, all the sand drains from one planet to the other in a sort of gravity well. And the course of the game is 22 minutes, because every 22 minutes, the entire world explodes, the entire universe explodes, and you wake up at the beginning.
Ooh.
It's a Groundhog Day situation.
Oh dear.
And which is one of my favorite things, time loop games. And it's just, I mean, just broadly, it is one of those things where the game is quite long. How long do you reckon it took you, Sam?
I guess I think it was about 13, 14 hours.
Yeah, I was thinking like 15 to 20, but I don't know because I wasn't paying attention.
No, and most of my time was between midnight and 5 a.m., so it's hard to tell.
So in this game, you never get any new abilities, new equipment. Yeah, pretty much everything you discover in the game is just information.
I'd say you get new understanding of some mechanics, though.
Yeah, but that's what the information is.
yeah, it's information.
So it's not like you're not going to say,
It's something you can always do.
there's
if
an
you knew
obstacle
about
in
it.
front of me. I can't get past that, but later I'll get a beam that can get rid of it. No.
No.
You'll just find out, oh, this is a strategy of getting past it. And now once you know it, it's really easy to do. But it's kind of amazing the number of things that they can hide in plain sight in that way.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. You go like, this is impossible. And then you read one sentence like, this is incredibly simple. And you just shoot right past it from then on. The time loop is good because you start on this planet every time. The time to get into space, I measured it about 18 seconds.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah. You just run to the ship and you fly off. Because the
Sprint
world,
on.
everything's so small that everything's really close. Like planets are only like 12.
Yeah, I think the closest planet to the sun to the furthest planet takes maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, if you're flying
If you're
right,
full on, right,
and things aren't
straight
moving in a weird
travel.
way, and it's all like the ship is all physics based, so it's a little bit lunar lander the controls, but then there's easy ways past it because you can just push a button to match velocity with something else.
Yeah, I'd just like to change a statement I made on the last episode about observation being the only game where I felt like I was in space.
Oh yes,
Because then I played Outer Wilds,
Yeah.
and it's better.
And there's just
for that.
so many systems that can interact, where you'll just be kind of shocked and something will go wrong, but that will lead to another discovery that goes. As I say, it's very hard to talk about. Do you have anything that you can say about it before we let Callum have a little bit of a feeling? It's just a feeling.
I'd say only it's very well put together as a solar system. Everything feels very well authored. Nothing feels too out of place or random. And I don't think I spent a single time loop other than ones where I died really stupidly, where I didn't find any new information.
like you didn't put on the spacesuit and get out.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
that was about 5 times.
I was like very proud because you said you'd done it like 5 times. I was like, I've never done it. Then like next time I just get out on a planet, I'm walking down some stairs, I'm like, I seem to be, oh wait.
But yeah, I think I've like one of the main key points that could have made or break like this game is probably the fact that even if you don't accomplish what you were setting out to do on a certain loop, you still find information.
And I think as just the well thought outness of the universe, it's everything is explained.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of a single element that doesn't tie together in some way and get an explanation, and it all works to. Yeah, like
there's no loose ends.
Yeah, and just in all these disparate things that you originally stumble upon, you don't really realize are as intertwined as they really end up being. It's just very well put together. I think the writing is kind of amazing in that way. And we were sort of joking about just doing a sequel that, just is just a new universe. It's like, but the hard bit is making a universe that's interesting and tied together. And that's the shit that takes 6 years to do.
Yeah.
But it's very cool. And how did your experience go, Cal?
I really struggle with games that lack very, very obvious direction most of the time. So my experience with Outer Wilds was doing like 3 time loops and going, I have no idea what I'm doing in this game, and giving up.
But I did give you some advice on
You
how
did.
to make it directed, though. So I'll be interested to see if you try that.
Yeah,
If it's any different.
I'll be going back this weekend to give it another shot.
It's kind of funny because I was saying to Sam, the basic thing you do to drive the plot, I didn't engage with at all until like the last third of the game, and you just plain don't get things marked on your map and everything if you don't do that. I was just flying blind the entire time. You know, in like my second last run, I discovered a map button. I didn't know there's a map button in the game.
That map button's very useful.
Apparently. I just use my peepers. Anyway, yeah, so Outer Wilds, it's on Epic Game Store, Xbox Game Pass, and I think that's all at the moment.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
And
well,
man-
just those two.
Switch.
No, I don't think it could handle. I think the Switch
Nah.
could handle it easily.
Okay.
Even it's just parts. Like it could be ported and have some
Yeah.
changes, but there's a couple of planets
Oh,
where
I'll have to give
it
it a
is
There's definitely some systems going on that are
Yeah.
probably
even
Yeah.
though it's
higher
like
processing.
quite cartoony and everything, like there's a bunch of physics stuff. Oh god, I just want to talk about some of the planets. Oh!
Yeah, I would 100% agree that it
have
would.
a spoiler
We should do a
zone
spoiler
at the
one.
end.
I think when James gets back and like we've all sort of played through it to a
Yeah.
degree, and yeah, because it's super interesting how it all goes
have
together.
not tried it yet.
Yeah, give it a
I
shot.
will.
I think like Xbox Game Pass and everything is like because Void Bastards was on that as well.
Yeah, it
And
is.
now, you know, even though it's E3 news, I'll put on that now that they've Microsoft's also announced more of a focus on the PC Game Pass, which already existed, but now it's actually a split off thing. So it's a different charge, but they've combined it. It's fine. At the moment, you can get it for $1, but if the official price is $5 at the moment for the beta.
Okay.
And it is like I've been playing Void Bastards, which I think has anyone else played Void Bastards?
Not yet, but
I think
it's on
I'll
my
save
list.
till when James gets back because he's been playing a bunch of it, and I've only
I've seen a lot of it.
yeah. It looks fucking great.
It does.
You know, like all of the Microsoft heavy hitters that are out, and all the new stuff's coming out to it as well. But then it's just like a bunch of things that I've been meaning to play, like Kingsway. Anyone played Kingsway?
Nope.
Okay, here's Kingsway. Kingsway is, let's kind of model it on Windows 3.1, and it's an RPG, but it's played in a fake OS.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yep, I know what you're talking
So
about.
you will click, okay, I want to go to this place on the map, and it's sort of a waypoint, and then another window opens up, and it's the travel window.
Nice.
And then you might be interrupted by an enemy, which pops up in another window. But that window might be wiggling around, so you have to like, oh, I'm going to hit the fight button or the block
Okay.
button or whatever. And they might like throw an arrow at you, and then a window will open up with an arrow, just with like a clip art arrow on it going across the screen, and you can like hit the dodge button as it moves.
That's amazing.
All the like, you know, your inventory is just another program that you open up. Like some of the enemies could like hit you and knock knock a window off the screen that you have to re-maximize it to get in and everything. Or like this is not a long-term RPG. It is run-based, as I discovered when I died. I was like, oh no, I have to start again. I'd put in a lot of time. But it's such a cool gimmick. And especially when it's on subscriptions. I'm starting to love subscriptions.
We are very much in the Netflix of the gaming world
We
now.
are getting there now. It's just the ones that you choose to. I think we'll get into it more later, I think. But I think the only thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get very, very good at unsubscribing from services.
Yep.
Because it's just like, well,
Subscribing
this
when
one
you want
now,
it.
then that one. Oh, this month I'm going to be playing those. And which is...
It's cheaper
I
to
mean-
subscribe for a month to play the game you want.
Exactly. Okay, now, should we actually start just moving through the news that then moves into E3 and then get into that stuff? Or do we want to stop somewhere else first?
News.
I guess that would mean
You're the
Stadia?
showrunner.
Yes, Stadia was sort of the first thing. Not officially E3, but they were getting in front of E3.
Might as well be.
So they said, oh, we're Google, we're here. We've mounted a camera at... Oh, God, Harrison, isn't it? No.
That's some dude.
Yeah, anyway, they've mounted the camera at his dick level. And he's already a tall guy, so it looks really weird. But he's looking at another camera, so he's just sort of... You're looking at his dick, and he's looking about 4 foot ahead of you. So I mean,
That's
someone
someone's
needs,
fetish.
It was very weird.
someone needs to teach Google how to position
It's
a camera.
someone's fetish, Paul.
There was this thing that became popular in like filming interviews, probably in the 2000s, where it's like, oh, interviews are a bit boring, so we're just going to put a second camera that's sort of handheld on the side, and they're just
Oh,
looking
yeah.
off and everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
And everyone stopped doing that because we realized, shit, you're not adding interest, you're just adding a shitty angle. But no one told Google.
No one tells Google anything.
It's true, they just do what they want. So they said, this is the the presentation. We're going to give you the details and the prices and all how it all works. And they didn't really.
No.
Well, no. They gave us the prices.
Details and
No.
prices.
They gave us the prices of Stadia Pro. They didn't tell us like what games are going to cost on the service or anything. We're assuming full price.
You're expecting too much. Like they gave you the prices of Stadia. That was a Stadia announcement.
Yeah, so the business model is the question about Stadia.
Yeah, I don't think they figured that out yet.
Yeah, that's what people are waiting to see. Because one thing, Stadia has so many possibilities. It's very exciting. A lot of the world isn't ready for it. That's fine.
We're
Something
not,
to be had.
according to Google
Nope.
themselves.
We're not in the launch window. That's true. They announced their founders pack where you get
16 countries, I think it was.
Yeah.
I haven't actually checked this out, but would those countries be the ones that they've already built servers in?
I believe
I would
so.
assume
Yeah,
so.
so
It was,
like we don't have
it was
Google servers in
basically,
Australia because
it was the obvious
Australia's not.
US. I think there was one. I believe there was one Asian country in there.
Yeah,
and
well,
then
South
it was
Korea?
mostly Europe.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
So-
they don't even need to build a server in South Korea. The internet's that good.
I'm very
So
jealous.
it's where they're already kind of.
Yeah,
set
that's
up.
it. They're already
Makes
established.
sense.
So they announced Stadia Pro, which is a subscription service which you do not need to play Stadia, but it does give you access to 4K streams and priority streams. They said
Screams!
no.
You said screams.
I don't believe you. I'm gonna listen back
You
to
can check it
this.
later. He'll edit it over.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Derailed.
Amy's back.
I'm the best.
Does that teach you to have 4 people on a show?
We used to have 4 people.
Yeah, no.
God, where was I saying?
Stadia.
Games.
Pro.
The
Stadia
Stadia
Pro. Streaming.
The Scream, yeah.
You were describing the 4K.
And then there is, then they're giving you Destiny 2 Complete. I believe you get the normal Destiny 2 just with the free version as well.
Well, Destiny 2
that's
normal
free to
goes
play.
Which is
free to
just
play.
free to play now
everywhere.
anyway. And you get 30 games on their subscription service. And whilst they announced games, they didn't announce that those are on the subscription service. There's just a thing that says 30 games, and there's a thing that says we have these games, and they're not the same list.
Cool.
And we don't know what's on it.
I find it.
I don't think they know what's on it.
I find it real interesting that most of the things they announced are things that are not necessary to use the platform.
Such as...
Like Stadia as a thing,
Hmm.
like the whole streaming service thing of it. We got not a lot of info about the core.
how it works. And see, it was one of
We
those.
just got a lot of info about all the things that are tagging onto it to make money.
I made solutions things, but I really want to see, like, okay, at the moment when you buy the Pro Pack, you get a controller and you get a Chromecast, and that's how you do it. And so really, that's the only way you can play it, as well as playing on the Pixel. What are we up to 4?
Yeah, Pixel 4 will be
3
the
is current,
Stadia release.
but 4 will be.
No, but I don't think it's on the 3.
Oh.
It will be.
No,
Yeah, they said Pixel phones.
It just said
Okay.
Pixel phones in the
Pixel
thing.
phones. All Pixel phones.
Okay. So anyway, so Pixel phones and Chromecast is how you do it originally. So you can't pair anything to a Chromecast, so you have to use their controller. One of the games they announced is a multiplayer couch co-op game. You can play it online, but who wants to fucking do that? Which means, okay, let's say you're not going to buy 4 controllers because that's a bit. But say you've got 3 fancy friends and yourself, and you've each got one. How do you all join the same game?
Who knows?
Everyone needs to pair with their phone and then get a code off the game, probably, I'd imagine.
Like, yeah.
maybe.
wow.
So it's like a Jackbox session.
Yeah,
like-
I was
but
gonna
you
say
have
that.
but you have to access it with another device that isn't the controller that you're going to play with. It's just like, it's all these things. It's like, it's not super complex, but it's complex enough to go like, just wait, what the fuck? I don't just walk in and push the Bluetooth sync button and
Yeah,
everything's
see, that's what
happy.
it should be, right? It should
Yeah,
just be
but
press a
there
button.
is
you're
is
in.
no sync button, and in fact, you don't even the controller doesn't ever talk to the thing that's playing it. It talks to the internet.
Yeah.
So you've also got to then make sure that the friend's giving you the Wi-Fi code, which I guess you'll put into an app in your phone, and then you'll connect to your controller to say join their Wi-Fi. I guess you could be using your mobile internet for.
Here's an interesting query.
Yeah.
Does that Stadia controller act as the host for other controllers to connect to?
That's an interesting concept. That would be nice if they detailed such an idea.
Also, probably like just based purely off a technical standpoint, would probably expect you to have to actually link your controller to an account. So you would just be invited by your
Yes.
accounts on your friends list,
That
and that
too,
would
yeah.
just vibrate your controller to join.
But it has to be on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah, it has to have
you
internet
still,
access
you still
to
have
it.
to have internet access.
Yes. Which you have to set up through a potentially convoluted
At
way
some
as well.
stage.
100%.
Yes. It's like whenever I move my Chromecast to another place and I'm like, oh fuck, open up home, join their new network. Okay, now link to that. And for some reason it takes like 3 minutes to sync properly. I'm like, what? Yeah, they actually don't have a good history of doing that quickly.
No, Chromecasts are possibly one of the slowest to connect up to the
They're,
network.
they're
that I've
so
ever seen.
weird. And from because I did a lot of staying in hotels last year, anytime there's anything that's just not a straightforward connection to the internet, you're going through some sort of portal or proxy or whatever. Google fucking sucks at that.
Yeah.
Like I started
breaks.
bringing my own router. I was like, I brought a little router, plugged it to the Ethernet port there, so I wasn't
Nice.
using their actual Wi-Fi. Then everything would work fine.
That's because, I believe all Google devices have to use the Google DNS. So if there's any form of DNS system in between, they just don't function because they're like, what do you mean it's not 8.8.8.8?
They won't use proxies either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Google, the high-end technical company, which
Doesn't know what it's doing.
doesn't let anything happen.
They should have just stayed a search engine. Ah.
and a video platform.
But Bing's better.
Yeah, it pays me to
Better
use
for
it.
porn.
It's better for most things.
Maybe these days. We have had a
I
few.
haven't really used it.
I've just
other than
I
getting paid
started
from it.
defaulting to Bing for most of my searches now because it just
gonna say.
brings the result that I want.
I'm still Asta La Vista.
I'm just going to say the words DuckDuckGo.
Oh,
All you fuckers are still being tracked.
Yeah,
Is DuckDuckGo not tracked?
Yeah, it's untracked.
So
that's the point.
The whole point of it.
I had the most definitive "we are being listened to at all times" this week, which was simply I was talking to someone about a church I used to go to as a child that ran out of a school, and half an hour later my phone said, "Do you want to review that school?"
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, "The fuck?
Yep.
That was 30 years ago."
They say they're not listening, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're definitely listening.
Yeah, that was, yeah. I've had plenty of, like, normally it's just like something like, I've searched for something and then I go like, yeah, it's like, fair enough.
Yep.
I understand how that's going. But I literally have only said those words in the last, well, probably 5 years.
Do you know how vindicating it was for you to tell me that story? Because you called me crazy 12 months ago when I told you the same story.
I probably did,
Yeah.
yeah. You crazy
That's
motherfucker. They've updated the technology since then.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For me,
I'm just
it's-
crazy, but it worked for you.
For me, it's real.
Now they're
Okay.
doing it.
So Stadia, yeah, that was a thing. What games did they announce? They announced the new Darksiders.
Whoa.
It's an ARPG.
Yeah. It looks really fun. I'm genuinely looking forward to playing the new Darksiders. I like ARPGs and I love the Darksiders universe.
I
Except
heard it plays badly, but I don't know because I haven't played it.
I don't know, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
So it's a 4-player co-op ARPG.
It's
you
4-player?
Yeah, you get to play all the horsemen.
Are they all there?
Yeah.
Ah, I thought it was only Strife's game.
No. Oh no, Strife's barely in it. Ah. Half the footage is you playing War. Everyone's like, War's back! Yay, War!
I want Strife's story. I'm
not
like the
Strife's
one
story
person
time.
that cares about the overarching story of Darksiders, aren't I?
No.
Including the dev team?
You're not incorrect, except there is no overarching story. They just add some shit. There's no plan.
No. I just want to know who started the apocalypse because it's been a really big deal at the start of all three games.
Oh, it
and
was-
we don't know who
It was
started it.
me.
It was Bran. So why not?
Yeah, because well, let's say Mo.
Let's say Mo. Yeah, that is. Yeah, stay.
I can't remember any of the other games.
Oh well, they announced.
My mind is wiped.
They
clean.
announced Get Packed, which is just a shitty looking version of Moving Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the co-op. Yeah, it's a co-op
The random
couch game where you're moving furniture and stuff out of a house. Except there's already a game with that exact same premise that looks about 10 times better. So
We had
So
other
odd.
Stadia announcements later in the week, but they weren't announced at the Stadia event.
that's all right. What was it?
I've got a cool
Well, we got
list.
the.
There's a lot of games
Uplay
from
Plus.
E3. That,
Oh, the Uplay stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
a
We'll
lot
get
of
to
a lot
that,
of
yeah.
E3 games had Stadia tagged onto it.
Yeah. What did you say, Amy?
I've got a nice full list
Of what?
of all the games.
Oh yeah, but I was like things that were interesting that were announced.
Just Dance 2020.
I mean, that's just a game
Was it-
that's coming out. That was not really announced
Most
by.
of those are E3 games.
Ah, okay. Guilt is a Google.
Oh, Guilt! That's the game. That's the one game they had. Guilt. I don't think it's exclusive, but they announced
No,
it.
it says Google
So-
Stadia exclusive.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I don't believe it, but it's there. I'll believe your phone for now, just because it's convenient.
Yep.
Is
so
it a Google phone?
So Tequila
Can't be
Works,
trusted.
a developer that I think is quite good, announced Guilt, which is like a third-person horror game, but with a somewhat cartoony aesthetic. You play a young girl like in a school and running around, with like shadow monsters chasing her and everything. And I don't think that cartoony graphics hurts a horror game particularly.
No.
Because as long as it's dark and scary and something's chasing you.
The atmosphere more than anything.
It's 100% the tension and the atmosphere, and you don't need graphics for that, which is why the 2D or the 16-bit game that came out for free on itch.io, I can't remember the name of it. The one it was set
16-bit game.
I realized
Narrows
it was the one set during the Satanic Panic in the US. Faith.
Oh, I haven't played Faith.
Faith is really, really good because it really builds the tension well. Like the graphics do not matter because it is like 16-bit.
I'd almost prefer less realistic graphics for horror games.
Sometimes
For certain ones.
And then there's games like Amnesia, which as soon as I see the monster, I screamed and never played the game again.
I did like the public bathroom scene in Faith. It was pretty good. It's a George Michael reference.
I got the reference.
I just can't let dead air time. It's impossible to me. It's like, oh shit, a second of not talking. Quick, let me stutter and say like a bunch more. I've been bad at that the last, I don't know, 6 months or so.
No,
You missed the opportunity
you've
to put
been
like
like
in that
that
sentence.
for as long as I've known you.
Oh no, I get better sometimes because I pay
Oh,
attention,
okay,
and then
yeah,
I get
yeah.
worse again because I stop paying attention. I get too
Yeah.
excited and I talk faster, and then I'm like, like this, like I don't know.
Is that when like
It's
I've been
because
like
you grew up
that
in the
lately as
90s.
well.
It's not your fault
Like.
that Clueless was an influence on you.
I didn't watch Clueless until I was an adult.
Okay, but
it doesn't mean it's not an influence.
you existed in that culture.
It's true. I did.
So, like, totally fine.
Radical.
What's next, Paul?
Death Stranding.
Oh yeah. I still don't know anything.
Neither.
Death Stranding is amazing. Let me read the synopsis by
Here we
Hideo
go.
Actually
Kojima.
got it there.
I actually really like this synopsis.
Because Kojima is
It's a stream of thought.
So Kojima.
is the version of Tommy Wiseau that lands it. Anyway. Okay, in this world, which it does skip here, so it's not the United States of America anymore, it's the United Cities of America. Okay.
Fair enough.
So, people have created walls and become accustomed to living in isolation. Death Stranding is a completely new type of action game, where the goal of the player is to reconnect isolated cities and a fragmented society. It is created so that all elements, including the story and gameplay, are bound together by the same theme of the strand or connection. As Sam Porter Bridges,
Whoa, what a name.
you will attempt to bridge the divides in society, and in doing, create new bonds or strands with other players around the globe. Through your experience playing the game, I hope you'll come to understand the true importance of forging connections with others. So, Mr. Subtle Kojima. So, yes, the main character is Sam Porter Bridges. He works for Bridges, the company. He's being
creates
directed by the president, whose name is Bridget.
Really?
Yes.
Bridget the... Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure she has the last name.
It's all very subtle.
Yeah.
It's the nuance that really gets you.
But also, the game is very much about transporting cargo.
Which
so
is
his middle
what a
name is
porter
Porter.
does.
Yes. And I guess Sam got there because it's like, well, we better humanize
Because it's a good
him.
name.
Yeah, it's a solid name.
I will. Can I add one extra quote to that?
Yes.
That I really enjoyed. Because he's been asked a lot about the genre, and he said it's not a stealth game, it's not an action game, it's a stranding game.
Oh.
Like, the fuck does that even mean?
Well, I often strand when I'm playing
It's a
Beat
strand
Saber.
game. Okay.
I
Thanks.
think that
I
it's
guess.
just Kojima going, well, because it's my game. It's
Well,
my
he
genre.
He did very much state that he views it the way Metal Gear Solid was viewed, in that Metal Gear Solid's genre wasn't
Was
really a
Chip's
thing.
channel.
I mean,
Chip Challenge.
It kind of was, but like the way it was,
was a
the way
stealth-
he was
it was a
presenting
stealth
it,
game.
it was a stealth game.
It
right?
was a stealth game.
That's what it was. But in his head, it's not just a
Something
stealth
special.
game.
Oh, okay.
So it created its own thing.
Didn't do that.
So
It
Metal
didn't.
Gear 'em up.
But that's the argument.
It's an interesting argument for insane people
Like Kojima.
like Kojima.
Yeah, pretty much.
Genius.
I mean, like, it's usually the same. Insanity and genius.
Yeah. As I say, he's the Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, he's the talented Tommy Wiseau.
His
Yeah.
ideas do tend to land.
I love... Yeah, well, what I love...
That's the thing.
I love analogy that's non-subtle. That's like... It's like, oh, no, we don't need like a nice subtle metaphor. We're just going to... It's like... This is about a brick. So this brick is going to be in your face and it's going to have brick written on it. Okay, you ready? Here it comes. It's like the comedy rule, like what you do is you tell someone you're going to do something, then you do it, then you tell them it has been done.
Yeah.
That's
the Python rules of comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a bit like all the character designs. There's a character called Die Hard Man.
Nice.
Yeah, I did enjoy that one.
He's going to be very easy to kill.
But he'll keep coming back.
Guillermo del Toro is Dead Man. One of the main women is called Fragile because obviously he's like got very pro on women in most of his things. They're always quiet, fragile.
Yep.
Always strong women protagonists in Kojima.
She was strong. She just needed to stand in the rain.
Skin.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why she needed torn up stockings.
Who doesn't need torn up stockings?
Look, as people that might.
open that can of worms.
Yep.
Honestly, it's like at least top 2 fetish. What were stockings? Stockings the game.
Stockings the game.
Double Fine stockings. Oh, stacking. Sorry.
Stacking.
I always get that mixed up. Just hopefully. It's what other character? Yeah, so Dead Man. There was a guy that has a golden mask that when he takes it off, there's another mask underneath it.
Oh my
That's
god,
amazing.
that's amazing.
Mads Mikkelsen just being insane with what they're called the Homo Demons.
Yep.
And they're traveling time fucking warriors that light the world on fire for funds. You're probably going to the moon.
Are these real?
These are all real
these
things.
are all things that are
This
in
is
the Death
amazing.
Stranding knowledge we have.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Mads just work with Kojima because Mads is fantastic, but also insane. So I'm really curious to find out whether Kojima was just like, here's the character idea. You do you.
Just be Mads.
Hannibal is one of my favorite shows, so
Yes.
I'm very down with Mads. It's going to be insane. I am really, really expecting that the reviews are going to be like 10 out of 10 and 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Which is probably good.
It's a good sign.
He's not compromising for much, and and the thing that we missed, I guess, to bury the lead. It's coming out in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, that surprised me. I genuinely thought it was going to be a PS5 launch title.
Yeah, I thought it was still going to be coming out on PS4, but I thought it would split be one of those cross-generation games. I think everyone was not expecting it this year, so that was like a real fucking shock.
Which yes, cool. Yay, we're getting it this year. I don't know if it's going to be feature complete, if considering how feature less it was when he showed it off, 5 months ago?
I think
4 months
the
ago?
thing that we might need to be prepared for is that it may not be that big of a game. Yeah. Because the thing is, he's not working with the huge budgets that he's had previously. It's a new team. They've spun everything up from scratch, and it's been put together pretty quickly. So this might actually be a pretty concise experience. We'll see.
Which might be
We'll
nice.
see.
Which might actually be just genuinely nice to play.
Oh my god,
a
concise Kojima?
Yeah.
Oh.
No psychic fire whales.
Well, still could have one. Okay. Then I've got Pokemon.
Pokemon. I love Pokemon.
Oh, I want to talk about that.
Okay,
I think we all
my
do.
microphone. I'm poking them too, but
Yeah.
can't see that.
Can't do
Yeah, so I'm gonna put this microphone down, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Well,
I'm gonna check my phone.
I'm excited. There's a sword dog. It's got a sword in its
Oh,
mouth.
okay, come on. That is the laziest
Hold up.
legendary in history.
Here's the
Horrible.
trick. This is on the list here because of the direct. We've had a lot more information since.
Yep.
Thanks to E3.
Yep.
But overall, just off the top of my head, straight into it, it looks like a good start for a Pokemon on a console. It's a good start. It is really not quite what it needs to be.
Callum, direct your criticism to the microphone.
Sorry. I don't know if the transfer from handheld to console, because fine, we'll call the Switch a console for now. I don't know if that is
How is it not a console?
because it's also a handheld.
Handheld console. Sorry. I said I wasn't going to talk. I'll get out.
I don't know if that's justification for the amount of features that we've lost.
That's true.
Like
There
breeders,
is a lot of missing things
there is no reason for a breeder to pick up this game
Yeah.
because of the deck stuff.
because of the deck stuff.
Yeah.
What's the point
That's
of
true.
what's the point of
Well,
breeding in a game where you
I'm
have
kind of
access?
okay with it.
Here's
what's
my argument against a lot of the fallback on the deck stuff. And for those that don't know, they've stated that the only Pokemon that you can ever have in Sword and Shield are the ones that are in the decks for the Galar region.
Yes.
So any Pokemon that does not exist in the game you cannot transfer to the game.
Which
basically.
just to me reeks of what, third gen when
third gen was when
were,
they did kind of do that.
Well, they 100% just
But-
they just didn't give you access to previous generations of Pokemon. So third gen, which is why third gen was crap.
The blowback on this is because we already know they have every single model and animation done and future proofed. They are all in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They were all done back in the X and Y days, and they are all done at a higher resolution than the 3DS can handle.
Yes,
We
but
know that.
they weren't done in the same animation style, which was that their excuse was for this.
Yes.
I would have rather kept the old animation then and just upgraded to a different system.
That's true. My devil's advocate on this, and it's obviously very much entirely hypothetical, and we'll have to wait and see, is that they've announced Home being the new bank service application. They did say that Home will have trading as its own functionality, so that if you've got Pokemon in Home, you just use Home to trade with other people. I do not see a reason for them to, other than just being completely stupid, to not build Home as a Pokemon platform without the game.
Okay,
To have trading, to have battling, to have breeding,
All right, I can
have those weird mini games that the 3DS ones had.
I mean, I can.
There's no reason for them not to do that.
I can think of a really good reason.
But they are making some stupid decisions.
Because I mean, if they do that, then what's the point of Pokemon Sword and Shield Plus?
That's a fair point.
Yeah, because
Ultra Sword and Ultra Shield.
The Ultra Sword and Ultra Shield will have more of a dex. I guarantee
It will.
This is the bit that I really hope they don't go down this road, because what the console generation, what bringing Pokemon over to a console actually guarantees is that it allows them to offer DLC.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say.
Like-
DLC Mons!
Which they're
No,
doing
I don't want
with a lot
DLC
of
ones. I want
other
DLC
games.
regions.
Yes.
Regions would be nice.
I would pay $20 to go to Kanto, to go to Johto. Like, why not? Like, it gives them the ability. But as I've had it pointed out to me multiple times, Game Freak are a tiny studio who
and they
refuse
do
to
make
grow,
real stupid decisions.
ignoring the fact that they make more money than God.
They are very much set in old Pokemon design as well, like as far as games go. You right there, Paul?
Amy and I are just making plans. Well, I'm making plans.
I'm terrified of sitting here now.
She doesn't want to initiate a triple kiss on Sam.
They like to just throw away mechanics they used once.
And
like
they throw
to
in mechanics that are good.
Yeah, there's.
There's a,
I think every single game has pissed off fans.
A lot of this,
some subset.
A lot of this conversation
one's
I'll
the
just
big
point
one.
out is a lot of you guys talking about something that you haven't explicitly discussed what you're talking
we
about.
have.
Yeah.
We did.
No, you're
I
not.
pointed it out.
You're talking about, oh yeah, a lot of the mechanics are like, what mechanics?
Okay,
what the fuck are you talking about?
That is a fair point. Why are they adding in giant Pokemon while removing Mega Evolutions?
I'm going to put a
Mega
timer on
Evolutions are
this.
kind of stupid.
Mega Evolutions.
They looked cool,
No,
but
no.
they were
Mega
kind of
Evolutions served a really good point for the community. They gave people Pokemon who were now competitively viable or viable to use in a team that were popular. Like, Gengar is one of my favorite Pokemons, but crap. Mega Gengar meant I could take him into a team.
Yeah.
But no, let's remove that feature and bring in Pokemon raids, because
Because why not, right?
Yeah, I want-
Let's add a new feature that
let's add a new feature that no one asked
is
for.
replacing Mega or Z moves. And
Oh no, we're still getting Z moves.
We're still getting
I
Z
believe,
moves?
I believe we're still no Z moves are bad.
Okay,
Z moves were really
one
really
minute
good.
so we
warning.
may still get Mega.
1 minute warning, just so you know.
Well, we've only got.
Oh, you're
Oh,
timing
you're
us.
timing us. Okay.
I'm treating this
Okay.
like
I've got-
treated this-
I'm still gonna buy.
I'm very
like,
excited still.
I have 6 pages of material.
I thought that was just
The
my
other thing I will
notes
point out that I
from previous-
noticed after watching a lot of the Treehouse segments from E3 is that while they've progressed into this new platform on the Switch, they've got like a little open world-ish type area for the wilds. It's fucking lovely. It feels so dead.
The wilds, yeah, 100%. They need
There's
to do
Pokemon in the
something.
wild, but they're static. The trainers are standing around just looking dead. Like there's no life to it.
No.
And I think they just missed the opportunity to really
They've missed
build
a
out on
lot
what
of
they've done.
opportunities. Well, it's like, obviously we haven't played the game, we don't know for sure, but it feels as someone who
10 seconds.
has played the Pokemon games since the launch of them. So I saved up my own pocket money to buy Blue with a Game Boy. Like, I'm
That is time. Now
No,
we've got
it's not.
extra bonus time for Sam to say one more thing. Your time starts now.
I don't understand why they didn't open their marketing for this game with the fact that it has multiplayer, live multiplayer.
Yes.
That's it.
It's a missed opportunity.
Why didn't they start with that?
One more thing. What starter are we all picking?
Wooloo?
The cute tadpole thing.
Squirtle?
Sobble.
one.
Yeah.
It's the bunny's gonna be a fighting fire. There's no point.
No. It's just fighting. It ends as just fighting. It's a pure fighting at its final evolution. It's Score Bunny, man.
cute, though.
Score Bunny. It's a pure fighter.
I thought the
Cute,
tadpole
but-
was Cumsicle.
That's in your head.
Oh, I'm making them better. Porncoman. Porncoman.
Could you not?
I mean, I'd invest.
I mean, we've all got to get Pokemon.
Yeah,
so.
you got Pokemon, but
Okay,
that's
so
probably trademarked.
whatever we spoke about there was a thing. I mean,
It exists. I'm still going to buy it.
I've pre-ordered the double pack.
I'm treating it like I treated the last season of Game of Thrones. It's good.
I mean,
it's okay.
the last good Pokemon was X and Y.
No, I hated X and Y. Black and white.
red and blue.
I mean, sure. I'll accept Gold and Silver were superior in every way.
I had Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Even better.
They're the
I
best
have
games. All right,
We've managed to drag Paul
What's
into this.
next, Mister?
So next up, we've got an announcement from Tesla.
Oh,
Ugh.
we
you can
do,
play
don't
video
we?
games in your car.
Yeah, you can play Cuphead. It's being ported to new Tesla. Okay, moving on to E3.
E3.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to structure this something as a top and bottom 5. So we're going to go around the group, and I haven't ordered mine at all. It doesn't matter. I'm going to pick out 5 random things, and probably the most weird ones, because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Is this whole conference or per?
This is just E3.
Okay,
Just
so
over.
So this is E3 generally, and we're not limited to only talking about these topics, but it's a way of trying to structure this, because previously
Instead
I've
of just
tried...
going through the list.
Yeah, previously I've literally done like the 6 pages of games, and this is a cut down list of games, and it's never been a good show when I do that. But what about this game? That game looked good, but this game also looked good. And then there was a game here that was an interesting game, but can't tell you why because I haven't played it yet. And that was a bit disappointing. It's a shitty way of doing it. So we're going to do a top 5.
Good.
So we'll start with the good things first.
Okay.
Callum, what is your top 5 best thing at E3?
the number one thing.
Number 5. No, number 5.
Oh, number 5. Number 5. Okay, so number 5 would be Uplay Plus.
Uplay Plus. Woo!
Yeah. Uplay Plus was it wasn't my favorite announcement from E3, but oh boy is it up there because I play a lot of Uplay games because they release bad games and then 2 years later they're possibly
really good
they're
games.
really really good games.
It sure is a very cheap way to play Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's it. It's a great way to play Assassin's Creed. It's going to be a great way to play stuff like Anno. I get to try Anno finally because that's very expensive for a game that I know I'm only going to put
Yeah.
half an hour into.
So the Ubisoft Plus will give you access to all Ubisoft's library for $15 a month.
US, we don't know the Australian price.
We
yet.
don't know the Australian price
$20
yet.
probably.
Probably.
Well,
Poss-
I mean,
we'll see.
we can go because it's $15 US for Xbox, like the Ultimate,
yeah, that was
The
like
and
Ultimate
it's
$16.
$16
Yeah.
Australian.
Yeah, so it's not
It's just
doesn't
whatever they
always
decide
compare.
to charge
Yep.
us.
Yeah.
Especially with the American economy at the moment. Who knows what's going on? But yeah, so you get all access to that. And then, that launches in September.
Yep.
But next year, also, if you're subscribed to that, you will get access to be able to play it through Stadia.
Yes.
So you get access to their entire library.
Yeah,
on Stadia.
that's actually how I'm going to play Stadia. It's how I'm going to give Stadia a shot.
Well, it makes really good. So for me, someone that I don't play lifestyle games, but every once in a while I want to try one and play a bit with one of my friends or something. So it'll be things like the last one I remember was Wildlands. Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I played the beta, and then the Predator DLC came out, and I was like, oh, I have this game. No, I didn't. I had only played the beta. I'm like, oh shit. So I bought the game to spend 4 hours playing it with James.
And was it worth it?
Yeah, I had good time.
But it would have been cheaper.
It would have been cheaper, but also it's things like that. Even when it's games that I own that I don't, with the Stadia thing, it means that it's like when I want to play Overwatch.
Yeah.
I've never played Overwatch without going, update time. Because I play it once every 6 months.
Do you not just have all your launchers open with automatic update at all times?
Not Battle.net because they don't have any good games on it, so why would I have it open?
Well, I mean, you occasionally want to play Overwatch.
Yeah, once every 6 months.
Yeah.
And also, but yeah.
Hey, also World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Callum, I was having a specific troll at you.
I'm aware, which is why I bit the
You
bait.
took too
It's
long
hitting
to
me
bite.
too.
You took too long to bite.
What's Uplay Sims I can't. I'm being stupid.
No, that's Origin,
No, damn it.
which we've already got a bad subscription service
Yeah.
for because it's too expensive.
It sure
Cool.
is.
I was gonna say I could have my Sims
Be interested
for
to see if they
like
change
a
it.
month and then give it
I
up
doubt it,
forever
though.
again.
I mean, with the competition from both Xbox and Uplay Plus, I mean, EA has to do something
Yeah.
because they can't keep charging what they're charging for what they offer.
Yeah, the and Square was just saying that they're committed to getting all of their games onto just available their entire
Yep.
catalog, but not as a subscription. But probably one day.
Wow.
But I think that the having streaming stuff when it comes to having subscription services also means you don't have like I subscribed to the Xbox Live thing before. I think I mentioned that, didn't I? Yes, because we were talking about Kingsway, and I said, "Oh, queue up all that," and I queued up about 250 gig of stuff to download. And I'm on decent internet now, so it didn't take that long. But I also could have just said, you know what? I just want to look at Crackdown 3. I don't need to spend an hour downloading Crackdown 3. Launch, play it for 5 minutes, go, oh, that's what it was, hey? Okay. And then move on. But yeah, but also then like all my bullshit little indie games that are like, I think most people can enjoy, but isn't worth money to a lot of people. It's like, yeah, but it might be worth 5 minutes of your time with no overhead.
Yeah.
So it's
I think the subscription services are one going to be extremely beneficial for families, and two going to get people playing games that they may not necessarily be willing to put money down on because they'll be included in the subscription service that they're already paying for.
Yeah. And since we have more and more of these subscription services now, as I say, I think it's going to become the
You're
subscription
just going to be
service juggle.
juggling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Going to have reminders on set on calendars like unsubscribe this day, subscribe then. You got to get in there because then you get like a special pre-order subscription. Oh,
Well,
and then when you leave, they'll go, oh, please come back. Here's $1 for the next one. It's like, we're going to spend $1.
Just
Well, it was
using those
pure
coupons.
laziness that got me signed up to Xbox Game Pass for a year.
Yeah.
Like, I signed up for Sea of Thieves because, I wasn't buying that. And I just never got around to cancelling it.
I don't understand
How they get ya?
How what? Not getting
How
around
you-
to cancel it?
Yeah.
It's
Because you're younger and a little bit poorer than us because of that.
$10 a month is not
It's
enough for me to bother with.
literally how
Wow,
gyms make
okay.
money.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
Same
actually how a lot of
premise
services
applies.
make money. Yeah,
They
It's
bank on the people that forget.
Like I would sign up to EA every once in a while for when a big release came out, and quite often I'd forget a month or two,
Interesting.
and I go, they actually just got
the,
it.
the thing is, most people don't keep tabs on all the micromanagements of where their money's going.
Yeah.
And like, I personally know someone who was subscribed to World of Warcraft for 2 years without playing it and didn't notice. They just like,
They're
They're like-
people.
but like, it was a case of like, it wasn't that they just stopped playing and then forgot about it. It's like they decided to stop playing World of Warcraft and left the subscription active, and then
Well,
an expansion came out 2 years later, and they're like, oh, I want to play again, and then realized they were still subscribed.
Well, yeah, like, what happens if you just want to pick up the game? Like,
'cause
you
it's-
don't want to have
it's
to,
like, yeah.
take the 5 seconds to sign
To
back
go
up with
and
your...
sign back.
Yeah.
Is that what, $20 a month for 2 years just to save some time?
No. You buy 6-month subscriptions. It's easier.
Okay, Amy,
Hi.
what is your number 5?
I'm not going to go in any orders, but I like 12 minutes.
Oh, so
Love the look of that.
what I love about these first things is that it's narrowing my list down.
Good.
But I get to say, because I was also trying to concise my list. My list was 12 minutes Deathloop and Lucifer Within Us, just so I can get
You just like
time loop
games.
games. Although Lucifer Within Us is a little bit different. But yeah, so 12 minutes. What I loved about this, maybe my biggest reaction watching the stream.
Yep.
Because 12 minutes were you aware of 12 minutes beforehand?
No.
So 12 minutes was announced 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
And I saw it and I was like, ooh, I love this game. And it's on a special list I have of games to check up on.
Yep.
And they've shown fucking nothing at that
Yep.
time. So when it suddenly pops up in a press release, I'm like, it's the game! It's that one!
I know that game.
So do you want to talk about what 12 minutes is?
Ooh, so basically it's a time loop game within an apartment, and you're trying to solve whatever it is that's happening in the conference. We were sort of shown, the girl, assuming girlfriend, got there's a strange man at the door.
Yeah, there's
And
like a home
trying to-
invader. And
Yeah, trying to get the girl.
I believe he said he was police.
He said he
He
was
did.
police, but
Yes.
he's a home invader of some description.
Yeah.
And you will
Whether
find
he
out
is or
more
not
details
is-
of that. Because police don't normally come in and tie you up.
No.
You don't know
Depends
that.
how much you pay
I mean,
them, Paul.
yeah, exactly.
If they have tearaway pants, they might tie you up. I think, and also because I went back and checked the last, like the original article, that was an old rock paper shotgun article from years ago, and they also had like the map of the local suburb, so it might actually be bigger than the
Yeah,
apartment.
because all they showed us was the apartment.
Yeah, I think it's primarily in the apartment. But it's just like it's a one of those very dense like taking decisions and
Yep.
going
You
through
only
and
got
trying
12
stuff.
minutes to do it. Just Save your girlfriend.
I find it so funny that I love games like this because I hate repetitiveness.
Yep.
But
You do.
I hate doing the same thing over again. But what I do like is
changing.
the
Yes.
same thing for different results over and over again. I think that's super interesting. Give a concise space. So just to jump on board with this, as well as 12 minutes, there was also the announced Deathloop, which was Arcane Studios' new game.
Yeah, Arcane, yep.
And we actually
From
don't
the
know much
Dishonored
about
guys.
Yeah, Dishonored and
Yes.
Prey, new Prey.
We know that there is a man and woman who are desperate to kill each
Two
other.
assassins.
Yes.
There's two assassins stuck in a time loop on an island, and they do not know why. And I believe they said that it's possibly even co-op.
I don't know if they
or you
did.
swap between one or the
Yeah, you
other.
swap between
Like,
them.
but they said that there might be a simultaneous thing that you can do as well, which is
That'd be interesting.
because that's that thing.
And the
We've
only way to
only
get
had a
out is-
cinematic. We don't know anything about it. It's
But
just a fun concept.
All,
There
all
did
they said
seem-
is the way to get out is to kill each other.
But they do that over and over again.
Yeah.
They don't actually know the way out.
So
yet.
it seemed like a life-based thing based on purely on the cinematic because there's a clock counting down every
Yeah.
time they died. There was a lot of little, like there was some kind of magical ability stuff going on.
Yeah.
Very very Dishonored-like in the way it looked.
Yeah, it has that sort of just the way the proportions of the bodies are. And
I'm
such.
very interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah. It's a team that's done interesting things. This looks different to them than what they've been doing with the last couple of games they made. So I'm really, we haven't seen enough to know, but see, it's an interesting premise.
I think I'm going to replay Dishonored.
They are good
And
games.
the other one I had was Lucifer Within Us.
What was that one?
I think that was in the PC Gaming Show, or maybe Kind of Funny, but it was sort of like a murder mystery investigating thing where you are following the timelines of multiple people, and it's almost like Tacoma-ish in that it has a timeline down the bottom that you can scrub back and forth of the scenes.
Yep.
And I love that sort of
That's
investigating and also whilst it's not a time loop, it is that sort of investigating
You're managing
throughout time
time.
management thing. Yeah. Which was a fun little premise, but yeah, I'd like to see more of it. Okay, Sam, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is a weird one, mostly because it's more about what I want to see out of it. It's
Uh-huh.
the Breath of the Wild sequel.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So, obviously, they just dropped, here's a teaser, here's a little cinematic trailer thing, with a lot of very interesting concepts going on in there already. I know the fan base have gone fucking nuts about theory crafting, what it could
Of course
possibly
they
be.
would.
And cute Zelda
Um,
short hair.
I am mostly excited.
And long hair Link.
I saw so many excited short hair things. Like,
Yeah.
I can't
Well-
imagine being so impassioned by a hairstyle.
Well, here's the
Maybe
thing.
Bayonetta 3.
My excitement for short-haired Zelda is because short hair is usually the dev shorthand for we don't want to fucking animate hair on a playable character.
True.
There's
Then why
potential
did
for
they,
that to be
didn't
co-op.
they make Link's hair longer?
Because
No, it's
maybe
braided weirdly.
Oh, it's braided. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
But-
it's like Avengers proves you wrong.
Yeah, well, does it? But my biggest excitement for this announcement is the last time we got a direct sequel to a Zelda game that was using already existing technology, we got Majora's Mask.
Yes. So we're
yes,
hoping
And
for
this
weird.
very much
slightly-
looks like a dark-themed Zelda game.
Yes.
And
And I very much hope that they fix a lot of the issues that existed in Breath of the Wild.
Issues?
I know
Issues.
there are issues, and there's a lot of the fan
Well,
base who will tell you as
I,
much.
I hope
Okay.
I hope things like the weapon degradation and everything like it's not that
Okay,
it's
yeah.
not that I dislike
No.
them. It's like I'd like a different game.
A lot of the fan base as a whole don't look at Breath of the Wild as being true to Zelda, because it was very much not
yeah,
a Zelda
yeah.
game. There
The
were no,
dungeons and everything.
Yeah.
like, because of what they did with it, it couldn't use the core Zelda design.
Yeah.
That said,
Okay.
I think in finishing Breath of the Wild, I think the castle is one of the best dungeons
It
they've
is.
ever made.
Yes, the castle's incredible.
I spent so long not going there because I was sort of intimidated by it and just doing all the other stuff and not having that. And once I got there, I realized how it had all these mini stories in
Yeah.
it and puzzles and everything. It was an open world dungeon. I was like, fuck, if this is what they've learned, if this is what they did for their climax, if that's what they can do dungeon design wise, this could be a really cool future.
I'm still too scared to do the final battle. It's
I'm
just
super
so
keen to
pretty
see
and
what comes out,
cool,
because
isn't it?
we know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be a very enjoyable game.
And they confirmed today it is the same map.
And it is the same map?
It's based on
Okay.
the same map. Yeah.
That's an interesting note.
I played 2 hours of Breath of the Wild and got bored because there was no direction.
This is
Saw that one
It's a
coming.
theme.
Breath of the Wild, Out of Wild, he hates the world wild.
Nice.
It's just wilds.
Wild.
Too much
Everything
wild.
wild.
Gone
Can't go
wild? Oh, we found the exception that proves the rule. Yes, very exciting. And how Nintendo finished up their conference, which was...
Yeah.
And they didn't even give it a name.
Solid way to drop it.
It's funny, like...
Well, that's the thing. When it started and I saw it, I was like, oh, more DLC, awesome. And then they're like, a sequel. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah. It's cool.
Okay, then.
Because it was enough that they showed some content, which obviously they can do because they're using the same engine and all that, but still not... Because normally it's the other way. They'll drop a name and then a year later we'll see a little bit,
like,
and then a year after
Metroid
that.
Prime 4, and then, oh no, we're remaking it.
I don't expect next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2 years turnaround.
I'd say maybe, like, the earliest will be the very end of next year.
Maybe.
But,
because obviously a lot of the
the
groundwork
end of
is
next
done.
year, start of 2021, would put it at about 4 years dev, and
That would be discounting working on the DLC and stuff, though.
Yeah.
true. But it's
Yeah,
close.
you
It'll be 3 to 4
imagine
years.
they're at least tooling
And
around with it before.
the turnaround for Majora's was 2.
Yeah.
So, you take into account larger dev times
Yeah.
for these types of things. Yeah. It's not going to be a long way off. That's the trick.
Okay, me.
So what was your number 5?
My number 5 actually was, I'm going to just do one
doesn't
that
have any
was
numbers.
my very late addition, which was Daemon X Machina, which was a game that we had a demo earlier this year, robot fighting on the Switch. Flying around, it was all right. I played through the demo quite a bit, and they said, look, we're going to send out a questionnaire after the demo and do it. So I filled it out. And today, like, they showed off a trailer, it looked good and everything. Yeah. Today they released a new video.
Yep.
And that video was, oh, by the way, here's all the very specific feedback we got and how we fixed it.
Ooh.
And including pretty much every criticism I made towards it. And there were this, like, even things like, oh, we've changed the default buttons to what you'd prefer, but also we've added the ability to map your own buttons. We've improved all the sound effects here. We've improved the way that boundaries work. Because one of the things was if you hit a boundary, the game would sort of like automatically turn you around and shoot you back into, and that was like put you in shitty positions all the time. And like fucking everything that was wrong with that game, they have addressed, said that you told us this, we fixed it. And suddenly I'm like, you know what, this was on a air list for me. Now it's like, oh, you listened. I must buy you for paying attention to me.
Yeah, they pretty much took every bit of feedback, hey?
Yeah,
Took it all on board, and we fixed it.
Like, people, like, visibility here was bad, so we changed that. We changed the way this lock-ons work like this now, so you can focus them in the battle better. I'm like, wow, thank you. Like, and it was one of those times where it made me feel like, wow, you guys really did release that as a test.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't sure what people would feel about it, and you got very valuable feedback. Like, I wish that happened more.
It's rare.
regularly.
It's a very rare thing.
Oh, you were trying to say something, Cal?
But then we got the coolest part about it.
What was the coolest part?
Controllers.
Yeah. There's good old Mad Cats, not Mad Cats, or is it?
No, it's
not.
Hori.
I didn't think it was.
Mad Cats
I
doesn't
think it's. Oh,
exist.
I
I saw a Mad Cat's like self-driving car or something.
I think all peripherals worldwide now are legally required to be made by Hori.
Good.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I got taken a Tatsujin Taiko drummer controller while I was in Japan. It's so good. It's like being in the arcade.
Is that for the Switch one?
Yes.
I should borrow it sometime so I can try it, or at least use it at your house. I will come
Yeah.
by and play it in front of your parents.
Ugh.
They'll have a good time, and I'll.
Amy, why
Be
is there
banned
a
from the
scary
house.
man here?
It's like, I'm here to teach you about the green way. Yeah. Climate change is a real thing.
If you're not watching this on YouTube, you really should be.
Yes.
Anyway, enough picking on Amy's parents. Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh yeah,
controllers.
The controllers. So the controllers are Joy-Cons, except they are like full-blown controllers with a D-pad and an actual grip.
Extra triggers.
Yeah, but they don't have any batteries, so they can only be played on it, and they don't have rumble and features like that. Yeah. But if you just want something that can play a solid game, they look really, really cool.
Yeah,
In defense of the rumble shit,
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm playing with Joy-Cons attached to my Switch, I turn rumble off.
Really? Why is that?
Because it annoys the shit out of me when
I
it
love
vibrates
it.
the whole screen.
Just wait.
For certain games, it actually gets real
What
annoying.
game? Can you please? I need to know what game vibrates your screen so much that it is a reason for you to go into the
No.
I
settings
can't
and
remember which
turn
one it
off
was.
Hori.
There was definitely one.
Callum, we
There
have to
was
be
definitely
careful
one.
here because we're close to body shaming, and he's very slight.
They break
it
my
just-
wrist,
it's difficult
Cal.
to
It
hold
breaks
onto
my
with
wrist. I can't do it.
Because like the 100% the Switch. I only play the Switch in handheld mode.
Yeah, same.
So
It's just
there is one problem with the rumble though, which is always it's loud as fuck.
That's the
so
other one, yeah.
I'm trying to
That
play
too.
it next to my wife in bed at night, like, especially when it's something like shoot, every time you shoot it, rumbles like.
I just must not.
Exterminate.
I don't know what games you guys are playing on the Switch, but they ain't the same games that I'm playing
Oh,
because
I
the
can-
vibration is not that powerful.
Paul,
give you all
Paul
this.
did we buy the same anime weeaboo games?
Oh, yeah. I was
Is that
thinking-
what it is?
We actually got the special Res Infinite Joy-Con. They're waterproof.
But yeah, it's super nice to have Joy-Cons in air quotes that are full controller.
Yeah, no, I really want.
Solid
I
idea.
want this to be a success. I want these controllers to be a success for Daemon X Machina because I want more games to be like, oh, you mean this is a really easy system to just attach controllers to? Let's make a
Yeah,
controller
they
that
could
works
get
for our
weird with
game
it too. Like,
Well,
surely.
that was always the dream when they first showed detachable controllers. Like, oh, we're
Get
gonna
weird.
Fishing controllers.
Yeah,
Are we
right?
going to get?
Like, 'cause-
Plastic
Are we going to get a
controllers.
crank?
Yeah, like stuff like that. Because I
They missed the
went and bought
opportunity.
the controller that you can buy from Hori that has the actual D-pad.
Yeah.
And that is just a dream to use. That is really enjoyable.
I was playing. A friend brought their Switch to a party last weekend, and they just had the Joy-Cons to play Mario Kart with. And whilst I still kicked everybody's ass,
It's really not fun.
it's really hard.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
really
It's very
tough.
difficult.
Okay.
Look, little.
It's very
tiny
difficult
hands.
for people with big fingers.
Okay,
which isn't,
sausage fingers.
Which isn't us, Amy.
Sausage?
They're bigger than mine.
Like, that's because you have child's hands.
Sausage hands, child's hands. This seems like a fair exchange of names.
Insults, yeah.
So, Callum, what is your number 5 worst thing about? E3
Number
this
5.
year?
Number 5 worst thing.
I feel like our lists are going to be very cross heavy in this.
Because
I actually
I've
don't-
got a very different one for you.
Yeah, I didn't have much to actually complain about, but
I mean, I've got the main thing I've got to complain about is Commander Keen.
So that's all 5 of your.
No. Well, no.
Top 5 worsts?
Well, all 5 of my top 5 lists are mobile games.
Well,
Well,
fair
that's
enough.
they brought back Commander Keen.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bethesda.
Thanks, Bethesda. Here's Commander Keen, filled with microtransactions.
Yay.
So that was that's number 2 on my worst
And,
list.
and no platforming. I mean,
Oh, no,
unless,
no,
you,
there was
platforming.
unless you count
Drag to
dragging
move.
the
Drag to
character
move platforming.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
not platforming.
And using gadgets to jump.
That's like, I mean,
If you paid for them.
Doodle Jump is a more platforming game than this. is.
Look at this gatekeeping motherfucker.
There are platformers. There's platforms. You move from platform to another. It's platforming. I'm sorry, everyone.
But no,
enjoy your Keen platformer.
fuck them for bringing back something from, I guess, my childhood, your childhood.
It's such a
filling it with microtransactions and aiming it at children.
Hollow.
It's such a major. Major's probably the wrong word, but it's such a known IP for such a lot of the gaming community nowadays.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that grew up in that age.
It's an, but
that
it's an,
they've just gone.
it's an
well, we're
unknown
just gonna
IP for
send,
the majority.
We're going to send you to
Yes.
mobile. That's the thing, right?
That's the
Like
thing,
they're going.
you always go like, why do you bring something out of obscurity to not please the people that care about it and please an audience that doesn't care about the IP? I mean, like graphically, like it's a very kids show, and it wouldn't be my choice, but I'd be fine with it. Like if they did that if they did that style treatment and made a Rawmen Origin style
Yeah.
game, I'd be like, oh, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not my preference, but still cool. But just make a microtransaction-y fucking.
The thing is, like you look at
versus-
games like this, like Commander Keen, going on mobile, you things like Gears Funko Pop thing. You're like a lot of them, like they're games that could exist without that IP being attached to
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
they don't. There's no reason for that IP to be attached to it other than to try and hit the nostalgia mark.
It's trying to
And
hit
all
this
they're doing is
nostalgia
pissing
mark.
people off.
It's well, no.
They
that's the
brought, when they
problem.
brought back Dungeon Keeper. Why? Why
boy.
did you do that?
Dungeon Keeper Mobile was a fantastic example of everything successful. Dungeon Keeper 2 was just not as good in every way. It hurt to say, but actually hurt.
I can see the pain on your face.
I know the sarcasm, but still.
The worst part about it is the nepotism and naming of the characters in Commander Keen.
Yeah.
What, Billy and
Billy and Billy,
Billy and
son
Billy.
and daughter of Billy.
Like, they're not even putting effort into
Name
the cash
for their
grab.
grandfather.
Father.
I thought BJ was their grandfather.
Father.
Father.
It's his twins.
But he already has twins. There's 2 girls.
Well, now they're
It's his second twins.
Now one's a trans character. There you go.
Which. Whatever. Anyway,
Billy and Billy.
it's not Glenn or Glenda.
That's true.
Oh, that would be good though.
It would-
Yes.
But yeah, no, that's my first fuck for me. Fuck E3 for that. Like, it's just unnecessary and it's not going to do badly, and that sucks.
Yeah, it's good. it'll be a hit.
I don't know if I see it being a hit.
It might.
It'll hit
will.
100,000 plus downloads in the first
I don't know
day.
if that's what they want though.
Even if it gets review bombed, it'll still sell microtransactions because you'll still have people who buy that. Oh, what do you mean it's a limited time starter pack for only $2.40?
Yeah.
It gives me $10 worth of stuff.
There are a lot of people who spend a lot of money.
They'll be able to pay for some promotion, but I also just don't know if it's going to have that wild of a appeal. I mean, it's no fucking Elder Scrolls.
True.
Yeah. So who's got Elder Scrolls on that list? Nah, just checking. I don't care. Oh, Callum does anyway. Amy, what's your number 5 worst thing?
I don't hate anything about E3. That's my problem this year.
Look at this sweet innocent child.
Oh, look at her. I don't hate anything. I love everything. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing's bad. Everything's good.
Except the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Oh, no. I don't like it when they finish up a story in a very wise and satisfying way with very good production. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't.
There's only so much you can do, Paul, right?
I started watching Barry.
Okay.
What a fucking great show.
What's that?
Oh, Barry is Bill Hader is a hitman who goes to LA for a job and sort of goes into an acting class and decides he'd rather do that than be a hitman anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Sure is a concept.
Is it good?
It's extremely good.
Okay.
It's some of the best writing I've seen in a long time.
Is it Netflix?
No, it's HBO.
Okay, damn it. We'll have to actually find a
Looks
way
like we'll have
get
to
it.
sign up to HBO on my
And
NAS.
whilst we're recommending it, good television.
The same way I signed up for Game of Thrones
Yeah.
and Chernobyl, very
Yeah.
Have you
legitimately.
watched Chernobyl?
We've got
I've got it.
You've got
I
more
think
shit?
we're going to binge it this weekend.
Yeah.
I actually, 100%, everything has said don't binge it.
Oh, okay.
You need time to process.
Processing it is.
You just have a sandwich in between. But yeah, Perpetual Grace, which is currently on Stan in this country. I'm not sure its original thing. That is it's doing a weekly release, so you can't binge it. But it's Jimmy Simpson, who you might know from Always Sunny in Philadelphia
Yes,
and
that's another thing I need to
Westworld and a bunch of other things.
Okay.
He's finally like the protagonist in something, and it is not what you expect when it starts. It's I won't spoil anything. If you want like well written, interesting show, that's only 2 episodes in, but I am loving it.
Was he not the protagonist in
games.
Westworld?
He was one of them.
Well, he was a version of one of the protagonists.
Yeah.
Fair.
It would be.
It was the only story. Who was the only story I cared about in Westworld?
Yep.
I love Westworld.
So do I. It's fantastic. But
I mean, like, it's already so far up its ass, but that's what I love about it. The trailer for the next season made me go like, yes!
Oh,
You guys
lost their mind. I wanted them to lose their mind, so I got what I wanted.
Oh, yeah. And that's one of those series where they have at least a plan. Like, the details of the plan aren't there. But so it's like, I want to see where you're apparently taking this, because I don't know. I really just don't know where this is going now.
We finished watching Dollhouse the other day. I enjoyed that. quite
This
a
is
bit.
now the TV podcast.
Yes, we should probably move on to E3 being the biggest. But yes, Dollhouse is a show that existed,
Yep.
and it was weird.
I loved it.
Nothing like a show that just wipes the protagonist's mind every episode, so there's
Yeah.
nothing to follow. I mean, yeah, they get away from that.
Yeah. Oh well. Cool.
Sam, what is your number 5 worst thing at E3?
A bit like my best, this is mostly about being disappointed in what it is. It
All
is
minor.
Dark Crystal Tactics.
Interesting. Why disappointed?
What?
Because, and this is again based purely on what we've seen of it. There hasn't been any treehouse segments or anything. It's purely the trailer and the short bit of gameplay. It looked a bit rushed. I like tactics games. I like the heck out of Dark Crystal, and I feel like it deserves better than just a rushed tie-in tactics game. But at the same
Someone can
time,
join in.
it's Dark Crystal, so I'll get it and play it.
I want some
okay, good.
sketches.
That's the thing I was waiting for. I'm like, does this mean you're not buying it?
Oh
Because
no, I would.
Yeah,
I'm,
I'm
I'll
buying
definitely
it day
play
one,
it. Yeah,
whether
day
it's
one.
bad or not.
It's day one purchase, but a part of me is
How did I
disappointed
miss
that
I will admit
they've
that
gone for just gone. Let's
I
make
mean,
a tie-in tactics
if
game.
it is just a cash grab, then it's going to be really obvious.
yeah, that's
We'll
true.
be able to tell by the price.
Yeah,
Because if it's
Callum?
$60, it's a cash grab. If it's $20,
Callum?
they might have put effort. If it's,
Microphone.
I realized.
I mean, you're still there. You'll just be
Yeah,
quiet. You'll be
be
a quiet boy. You're off mic. Yes, I mean, I will admit it did look a bit cheap.
it did.
Speaking of games that look cheap, I mean, that makes Dark Crystal going to look like a fucking powerhouse here. New Contra game got
Hell
announced.
yeah,
Yes.
that
And
was incredible.
This is on my bad list, but honestly, it should be on my top list because holy shit. they announced Contra Rogue Core, and people were very excited because they're doing a physical version for only $40. And it's so generous of them. It's like, well, because they didn't spend any money on producing the game. So that's so it looks like a game that was made when they just invented bump mapping.
Yes.
So they've got like N64 level textures, and then they put bump maps on them for some reason, and that's the graphical style.
very messy.
I'm sorry. I actually
Amazing.
I have to call you on that one.
Uh-huh.
It's at least GameCube.
The
It's
texture
at least
level.
GameCube on texture level. It's
true.
not 64.
It's true.
I'd say
I'm
GameCube.
probably slightly unfair
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
that was unfair.
They're blurry as fuck.
Yeah,
is what
they're
I'm
blurry.
saying.
They're not blocky.
It's a very messy looking
Yes,
game.
the only detail comes from the pointless bump mapping on the textures. But anyway, it's a twin stick Contra game with 4 insane 90s edgelord characters.
Nice.
My favorite one being the woman whose stomach is made of an alien bucket.
Did you hear her backstory
No, what
in
is
the
it?
trailer? She merged with an alien to stay alive.
Oh yeah,
during an invasion or
the-
something.
The alien invasion, which is
Yeah.
part of the Contra. You
Yeah.
know, we got to stay up on our
So
Contra
she's like,
lore.
we're all gonna die. I'm just gonna merge with this alien and
There's a-
make it my stomach.
a robot panda, and some other things. And there's some really dumb looking enemies, and it probably plays like an entirely average game. Yet its stupidity and its cheapness is the very thing that attracts me to it.
I won't play it. If it's on a subscription service, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend money on it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just happy it
When you
exists.
get it, when you get it in a bundle 1 month after release.
Maybe.
Yeah.
See, what I can see is that I have 3 friends. I don't know where I'd find 3.
Only
But
3.
we come over and we go like, we're going to have a silly night of drinking and playing games. Like, what should we play?
It's pretty
And someone
perfect for
says,
that.
well, we finished The Quiet Man. How about we all get together and play Contra Road Core? And we go, okay,
I'm
fair
sick
enough.
that day.
That's fine. I can play 2 at once because I'm great. Oh god, it's not
It's
on
a
this.
twin stick.
It's a list. It's a. I can't remember what the game's called. It was on the PC
Might be
Gaming
doable.
Show or something. It was a game that's just like 2 arcade, like basically Space Invaders and like Galaga, and you just have to play them at the same time. I'm like, that's a terrible idea.
That sounds amazing.
Ugh.
No,
it doesn't.
I'm just looking at
Gallagher
like,
needs all your
this
concentration.
doesn't sound fun at all. I can't remember. It wasn't quite Galaga, but it was something like that. I was just like, this is a terrible idea. Why would we want to do that? Anyway.
Oh, well.
So, number 4, best thing, Callum.
Xbox Elite controller.
It was quite shiny.
Sounds good.
I'm just
That's going.
really,
They've-
really keen.
They've made the new Xbox Elite controller and
Slightly better.
slightly better, and it has Bluetooth now.
And it's got a rechargeable battery.
I'm adding that preemptively to my special mentions list purely because
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I just I
was
I
already
loved the
I was
Xbox Elite
looking
controller.
into getting an
How
Elite.
how much are they in Australia?
$250 for the new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking into getting an Elite, so I'll just.
I mean,
Do
like
they have color schemes?
no,
Oh.
the Elite. There was one Elite that came out that was a special edition, which was the Gears of War one. That was
I thought they had
$300
some-
plus.
But you do own paints.
But normally they
Okay.
come in none more black.
No, but I thought they had some Xbox One controllers.
They're the regular
ones.
Yeah,
Oh.
normal ones.
They're not the
Elite.
Elite- the Elite.
Oh,
There was only
okay.
there was
Never
only the
mind.
one special Gears of War Elite
I,
edition.
Yeah,
I do
okay.
love the whole mix and match of the Xbox controls you can do though. Choose the color scheme.
Yeah, no,
It's
yeah.
kind of it's the Pokemon shirts of controllers.
Yeah, no. Xbox Elite controller is definitely my number 2. 4.
Cool.
Okay, Amy, what is your number 4? Do you even have a list? Are you just making this up out
No,
of your
I
head?
have like a small couple of games on my phone.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She's not
Ghostwire
reading it, though.
Tokyo and the cute girl.
Ghostwire Tokyo and the cute girl.
Which one of those 2 specifically?
Mostly Ghostwire, but I needed
cool.
to give an honorable mention to the girl, the Japanese
I
girl.
think I
She
did
just
write her
did so
name
well.
down at some point.
I mean,
That cute girl is.
I don't know her name.
she
she
She's
has
a
very
meme.
good media training. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but some of that media training is being very attractive.
Aw.
Hey, that's not a dig at her.
But also, like, well-established part of that development team.
yeah, I thought her. Well, she's the actual.
Well, she's lead on Ghostwire.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
leading.
yeah,
Yes,
she's actually the
exactly.
designer because it's
which is what I pointed out.
Yes, it's shit. Resident Evil 4 guys company. God damn, my brain.
Whatever.
Anyway, yeah, he made Resident Evil 4 and
Evil
then
Within.
moved on to Evil Within series, and now this is his company's new game, and it's got this very perky girl running the project.
Ikumi Nakamura.
That's her name, and she
She's so cool.
was very meme worthy. But the game is, I don't know. I like.
We know nothing.
It's
We know
got-
nothing, but it looked interesting.
It's like a
What
it's-
did?
the theme,
Cinematic.
premise.
Cinematic.
The premise.
The premise looks.
it started like leftovers in Tokyo, and then it went
And then
in
they
some
disappear.
ghost monsters.
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
Ghost monsters in
Leftovers is
Tokyo.
people disappearing.
Part of me is slightly excited to get an action game with a character that's using a bow.
Yes.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
what I like,
That's 50% of my excitement for this game.
Yeah.
what I liked about because the Evil Within, was more going into like monster movie stuff. Well, this seems more like
This is-
mystery, ghosty,
And very
mysticism.
heavy Japanese mythology.
Yes.
Which
There's a
interests me
lot
lot.
of Japanese horror mythology
Yeah.
going on, which is a very, very interesting world.
Yeah. There's some. Well, I actually bet there's another game that's got some real interesting mythology that's going to come up in someone's list. Sam, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yes.
Just wait, I'll get my phone again.
And
I was waiting for that.
this got added to my list today because they did a Treehouse segment.
But
today.
why?
I really like Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I am a massive Fire Emblem fan. I was already looking forward to this, and they have done a lot to this game to make it
Mikami.
Something that
Mikami
someone-
was the name we couldn't remember.
something that someone who wants Fire Emblem games just it's everything. Like it's so in depth, and to match it against the Pokemon thing. Like it's the first Fire Emblem on like the console, as it were. Like
I'm sorry, we had Fire Emblem Warriors.
that doesn't count
Why not?
because it's a Warriors game.
It's a Fire Emblem
No,
game.
it's a Warriors
Not
game.
Fire Emblem,
What comes
Fire Emblem.
first?
It's a skinned Dynasty Warriors game.
All Dynasty Warriors games are skinned.
It's
Yeah,
true.
it's fun.
But based on everything I went through in the Treehouse segment, because there was a lot of people worried about, it's very different from most Fire Emblems in that the story is you're running an academy, you're a professor at a school. That's half the game. So there's a academy segment, and then there's a 5-year time jump.
Yeah, I
and
was
a
about to
war
say,
segment.
there's that time
Yeah.
jump, isn't
Yeah.
there?
There's a
Yeah,
5-year
'cause
time
it's-
jump.
I love Fire
Everything
Emblem
you
games.
set up in the academy segment is then how everything is in the war segment.
Ooh.
So all the training you've done, all the interactions with characters you've done, all the relationships you've built up, whether people like you or not, your teams, or your classes,
Oh, that's so
that
not fair.
is how those characters are 5 years later.
That's so not fair. I have to now play it like 3 different ways.
At least because
'Cause I have to
you
have
still
it so
have to pick
everyone
one of
hates
the 3
me.
houses,
Oh.
of which have specific characters. You can.
No, now I have to play it 6 ways.
They did show that you can recruit characters that are part of other houses, which is a nice touch. But there is so much in-depth systems in this game to the point where you can individually run your individual classes to train every single individual stat on the characters.
Oh my god, I'm going to enjoy having
And
everyone
it's-
hate me.
It's calendar time day based, so it's very much you have a set.
Oh.
You're choosing what you do on the day, and you're choosing one of 4 things on that day to accomplish, and you can't do the other 3 things that day.
Yep.
And I'm assuming it's very much you have this very set time in which to do the academy phase, and once you get to whatever date it is and does the time jump, that's it.
I wonder if 2 things jump to mind straight away. I wonder if they'll pull a Fable 3 where you time jump 300 days for no reason, surprising everyone, or how long, how much.
Yeah,
have
I'm
they,
interested to see how long it is.
Yeah, have they announced how much of the game is academy and how much of the game is war?
No.
Okay, because I'd be interested to find out whether it's like 30%
They were-
academy,
Yeah.
50% academy.
There was a point where they were showing off one of the missions, and they did state that it's still early in the game when you're in the academy phase.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's referencing that most of the game is post that time jump or not.
I kind of don't
But-
want it to be.
Yeah, I
kinda want,
very
like-
much want to sit. And
Yeah, I want like
Yeah.
I want like 40%
Full
of the total game
blown.
at least in the academy for me to just be like, all right, let's just have some fun with this.
Yeah.
The maps are huge.
Mhm.
They're freaking massive tactics maps. To the point where like you're having basically 2 separate teams of characters playing on it. Like you're running on different sides of a map doing similar goals. The animations look smooth as heck. It just looks, it's very polished and very clean as well. Yeah, I'm a massive Fire Emblem fan, so that's
It looks like a good one.
But yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
incredibly in depth, and there's still features there to not have to go in depth if you don't want to. You can hit automatic on lessons. You can
Cool,
skip
cool.
through things.
Alright,
So
so
you can
That makes
you
sense.
can,
I can
basically you
imagine.
can dive in as deep as you want to dive into
Awesome.
it.
That's what needs to be there for Fire Emblem, because most of the time people very intimidated. I know
I have
most
been
of
in
my
the
friends
past.
that don't play Fire Emblem will never play Fire Emblem because oh boy is that game
It's a lot to
complex.
get into. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Okay, so time for me to choose a 4. And
Are
since
you
we're
not
talking about-
prepared?
I spent so long talking just for you to have time.
Oh, I mean, I wrote 4 next to 1, so I guess I'll do that one.
There you go then.
Let's talk about Freedom Finger.
What?
What?
Freedom Finger, blah, blah, starring Nolan North and John DiMaggio. Oh, yeah.
How did I miss this one?
This is a shmup. Yeah, you're a finger flying through space. Yeah.
Where was it? Was this in? What was this in? I don't believe you that this was announced at E3.
I think it was in the Kind of Funny showcase.
Okay.
You're going through space, and all the levels have different art styles, and they're all driven to music of like punk bands and shit, and it's all hand drawn. And here's what you do: I don't like shmups that much, but one of the things you can do, you can just go up to an enemy and shove it with your finger, and then you've got the enemy on your finger, and you can just shoot with that enemy, and then throw them at other enemies, and it's
so
wild
cool.
and crazy, and the art style's weird. It has a surprisingly huge voice cast.
Well, I mean,
yeah, what the
and then
hell?
I'm like, I found the website today. I'm like, oh, okay, let's just look at a few other things of it. It's just like, oh yeah, you want to just play through and have fun? Yeah, we got lots of difficulty options, so you know it's not like shmup crazy, but it can be shmup crazy if you want it to be. I'm like, oh good, I'll be able to play it because I always get fucked with shmups after a little while because I don't have the endurance. But just like. So many modes and art styles, and it's basically like an album. I think it's like 32 songs or something that the whole game is based around. One episode, one level, it just changes to Contra. It's just like with like a CRT filter over and everything, but the rest is like hand drawn drawings and
Sounds
everything.
incredible.
It is. I mean, look. Since I can't believe
none of us have actually heard of it.
no one's heard of Freedom Finger.
I went through the recap vids and everything.
yeah, me too. Didn't see that one.
What is wrong with you all?
Apparently,
yeah.
either you've invented this game in your mind, or all
No, it
three of us are
exists.
blind.
Wouldn't be the
damn
damn
it.
first
Seeing it.
time.
I'll never. I'm gonna turn it up nice and loud so we can get some residual sound into the speakers.
Oh my god.
Oh, actually, I might be going to a Bluetooth speaker at the moment, so it doesn't matter. Can't change it now. There's our
Up there
Freedom
somewhere.
Finger. Off he goes. Ow! Starring Nolan North.
What? This is incredible.
John DiMaggio. Just wait. I'll turn off wherever my Bluetooth speaker is, which is probably on the other
just
side of the
annoying.
room.
God damn. Okay. What a voice cast.
Everyone. I hope you're enjoying this internet.
RIP headphone users.
This is amazing.
Just punch things.
Yeah, I'll play this.
I need this.
I'll play this.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Freedom Finger, guys. That's why you watch the shows that aren't just the big ones. There's
did.
cool shit.
Hey,
I'm
I
not
watched-
saying you don't. I'm just saying to generally the audience.
I watched the VR one that you didn't.
I mean, I watched it eventually, but it was for some reason the recording was at
really-
360p. Like, what's going on?
I looked at the announced games and went, cool.
Yeah. Pretty much.
There was some fun things in there. I almost put some on the list, but then I was like, I talk too much about VR.
No, you don't.
There's some.
Surely not.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my number 4. Callum, what is your number 4 worst thing?
The Bethesda Fallout BS.
That's my 4. Oh no, I just said Bethesda.
I mean, like,
Bethesda in general.
mine specifically was the BS of the, hey guys, like, we worked really hard on Fallout 76. Maybe you should just, like, stop giving us shit for it.
Down at number 1 for me.
Also, the part like this was just year 1.
Yeah.
We're going
Well,
into year 2.
Yeah. That really got to me.
We meant to do
the
this.
pretend cop out of
They've
this
always
was
had a
planned.
roadmap, and they've always wanted it. As far as I can tell, they've always wanted it to be a live world. But they are very much selling mechanics as if it was part of that live world
Like
plan.
the complete failure of Fallout 76 was a part of their roadmap.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it was empty because we wanted it to be.
Yeah, no one bought the game and everyone returned it, and which is why its trade-in value dropped to like $10 in the first day that it was out because we wanted it to be that way.
I wish James was here. He loves that game.
I mean, I have it and I played it and I was okay with it, but
I own
it's still
it.
trash.
I think he almost made it his number 1 last year.
The shrink
He
wrap
loves
is still
I
on that
had,
copy.
I had a good time with it.
So
I
what
was
are you
expecting.
complaining about, you internet watching fuck?
I'm specifically claiming about the BS.
That's fair enough.
The two things I find the most hilarious about the Fallout 76 announcements, and I did cover this when we watched it,
Yeah.
The first is that they made a big Todd made a very big deal about how friendly his community is.
Yes.
How lovely the Fallout
Yes.
76 community are and
because
how
there's
nice
5
they
of them.
are. And it's because there's not many, and it's because the PvP is broken.
Well, a lot of them suffocated on the plastic bags.
Most
Canvas, Paul. They were definitely canvas.
most of the community doesn't participate in player versus player because it's broken and bad. So they have to be nice to each other. The second thing that really I found hilarious from just not thinking it's going to work at all, but I'll probably jump in at some point and check it out, is the BR, like the Battle Royale.
What do you own it on, by the way?
PC.
You oh, damn.
Yeah.
Is it crossplay?
So, I don't think so. Damn. So, Battle Royale, I mean, it's a meme at this point for games to get Battle Royale modes. Like, it's a thing. But I just find it hilarious that in a game where they struggled to handle 16 players, they've added a 52-player Battle Royale mode. And they haven't made it its own
PvE
thing.
in the
It's just Fallout 76 with Battle Royale tagged onto it.
Do they have 52
It's like a mod.
players?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? But it's a Battle Royale mod for Fallout 76,
Yes.
basically.
But that's what Bethesda do.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
They sell mods.
They sell mods.
They sell
But-
mods that other people make and they steal and they charge you
I
for
will
them.
be surprised if most games end up reaching one player left. Just unless
yeah.
they just start with one player.
I
The
expect,
chances of it not breaking
Yeah,
is-
that's it. I expect
like,
most of
it's
the
gonna break.
deaths for at
100%
least-
it's gonna
I mean,
break.
I'm not saying Bethesda can't patch it and they won't fix it, and because they eventually fix most things.
They get
except-
things to a point where it's
playable.
playable.
It's playable.
It's okay. Yeah.
So
And then we can mod them.
But the way they presented it was
that's it. It
And
was
the-
that was it. It was the way they presented it that just made my blood
they
boil.
opened very much with we're aware that it was a big problem and we're sorry, and like they weren't saying sorry, but they were kind of getting that across, and
Yeah.
then forgot about it all
Yeah.
when they went to present everything.
It's
we
not our
realized we
fault.
made a mistake, but the mistake was planned. Everyone, that was just year
Yes.
one.
Yeah,
And also the weird Ring of Fire cover they used. I thought that was kind of funny when they were doing the Battle Royale stuff.
I think
there's
you
only so many ways to do a battle royale storm, though.
I think
Yeah.
you should cut
Oh
them
no,
some
no,
slack.
just the song.
Why?
I did enjoy that there's now people in Fallout 76 where they were like,
They've
there are
made it-
going to be no people that aren't real people.
It's now a normal Fallout game.
Yeah, that's getting there.
I'm annoyed.
Anyway,
I'm annoyed that was my number 4.
but you didn't have a number 5.
Worst or
but you've
best?
got 4. You've got 4 bad things. Or are you just making it up as you go
I'm not
along?
making it up. I
Well,
just
I am.
remembered what I had.
Freedom
complain
Finger was my
about.
thing, and I just pulled that out of my ass.
We just had a magical moment.
So do you have any other 4s?
I will be thinking about it from now on again.
Okay, that's good. What is your number 4, Sam?
You're gonna hate me for saying it. Well, you might not actually.
Oh, yeah.
Again, it's a disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, most of mine
like
are just
the Dark
disappointments.
Driscoll one, Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
I,
And again, it's one I'll still be purchasing and playing.
Why? It's on Game Pass.
Well, purchasing then, air quotes. I will be game passing
you
and
will
playing.
be playing
From
it.
now on, if I say purchase, but it's a subscription,
Just
just
assume
assume I
subscription,
mean
yeah.
subscription.
It's one of those things. Like whilst we do have some games that are just like trailer releases and like they
Yeah.
don't have a lot of details.
They
on it.
showed us.
And there's plenty
They
of-
showed us
there's
a chunk
plenty
of
details
gameplay
about
for
it.
this.
But I do find it weird when it's like the big ones that people are all focused on are things that we really. Because was there anything you learnt from any of the coverage?
I didn't
Because there's
learn-
already
the-
shitloads
the
of
only
coverage of
thing
Outer
I-
Worlds.
It's.
Like I watched like a
haven't
half-hour playthrough.
I haven't been
previously.
following it.
Ah, okay.
So that's probably part of it. But it's just more of. It's just a more Obsidian game. Like,
but-
they're not doing anything with it.
I feel they're a bit stagnant as a studio to a
yeah,
degree.
it's stagnant.
Plus, it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like
I'll play it, and it'll probably be great.
I mean, it just looks like a competently made Fallout, but I don't really need a competently made Fallout. I
No,
just
yeah,
want something
like,
new.
What they've made is a good
I mean,
Fallout in space.
Don't get me wrong.
Apparently,
Obsidian are fantastic at story, so it could be just an incredibly good story, and I'm just like, all right, cool, I'm fine with the world now because you're just telling a fantastic story through this world. I don't think it's going to be, because I don't think it's going to be. I don't think
concept
any story
seems a
could be
bit
enough to
loose
get me through
as well.
yet another post-apocalyptic
No, yeah.
sci-fi game with shooting mechanics that I've played. They won't be good. They won't be the best shooting mechanics, so I'll be like, I could go play something
They'll
else
be
to get the
alright.
shooting. They'll be all right. Like
functional.
everything will be functional and all right. And I'm not sure if even the best story in the world will get me through.
Sorry,
that.
so no, we just not on release. It won't be functional.
Oh, yeah.
It's an Obsidian game. Let's be realistic
Yeah.
about this.
Hey, KOTOR 2.
Yeah.
I can't comment on its original release.
I just remembered my disappointment.
What?
It was the Star Wars Lego thingy. It's like it sounded like they're giving us like a mishmash of all the games and not just a remaster.
I thought it was a new game that was just based on all the stuff.
Yeah,
They use
exactly.
the words "new game," but what does it really mean?
Yes.
I just assume it's
like,
new
they
levels
didn't
based on the
explain
shit
it.
they've already done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll believe that until I'm proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we
I was
really
just
need
annoyed.
that?
I want
But
a
what-
remake of the.
Why do you want a
original.
remake? They're all kind of shit.
I really enjoy them.
Yeah, they're
just-
fine, but they're really basic.
Lego games went downhill with the Lord of the Rings one onwards.
The Lego games went down as soon as they added talking.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Boo.
Was it the Lord of the Rings
It
ones
was,
that are talking?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Schmiegel.
Schmeargle.
I think
Everyone do
there
a
was-
Smeagol voice.
there may have been one before it that used lines from
From
the
the
actual
movie,
content.
yeah.
But Lord of the Rings was the first one they actually did just voice acting.
Okay, my number 4, which as I kind of jumped on before, but it's wrong, was just why did Bethesda turn up?
To show us Ghostwire
Yeah, Ghostwire was
and
good.
Deathloop.
Well, they didn't show us either of those games.
Well, to
They-
tell
Show
us about them.
cinematics.
To
they
tell us
announced
about
they
them.
existed, and whilst that's
Just
fine,
post a trailer on the internet,
they
right?
could have just put the trailer on the internet just as well. They had nothing interesting to say. It's like, oh, by the way,
Do we need a Bethesda direct?
Starfield's not going to be there. I go, is Elder Scrolls like? What are you fucking crazy? That's still 10 years away. Fuck off. I mean,
Pretty
They
much.
just wanted to get.
I'm shocked we still haven't seen a single shot from Starfield. Just something. I suppose we saw that satellite picture, which I don't know is even concept art. It
could
may have
be.
just been fucking Google search satellite
Well,
and then just put Starfield across
I'll
it.
tell you why Bethesda showed up, because it's my special mention on my
Uh-huh.
worst list.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
that one dude in the crowd.
Woo!
Yes.
He loves
They
things.
they probably had already paid him, so they had to show up.
He's
like,
their mate.
contracted.
They like to catch up with him once a year.
Yeah.
And he comes along and goes, I love what you're
Aw.
doing.
That one very excited
At
super
the very
fan.
end.
That's so cool.
Okay,
He's got to shout woo every 5 minutes.
number 3, best thing, Callum.
See, this is a tough one. I am gonna say Ultimate Alliance 3
Okay,
because
that's a Star Wars. No,
Yeah, what was that?
Avengers. Sorry, no, MCU. Marvel.
Wow.
Marvel.
Oh, wow, okay,
Marvel
yeah,
is.
yeah.
The
yes, it is the third in a series that I have been playing since it started.
Have you watched the Treehouse segments?
No.
Definitely
I
do.
have now realized that I want to avoid pretty much the rest
Probably
of
a
it
good idea, yeah.
because the story matters. I want to pretend that it doesn't, but it
It
kind of
looks-
does.
Is it the
Real fun.
Black Order?
Yeah, the Black Order.
Yes, I know a thing.
It looks real fun.
It does. Like
It looks
and
ridiculous fun.
So I saw some things earlier that made me not be interested, and Callum told me it was kind of how it goes anyway, which was a lot of it was move to an area, you get trapped in a circle, and then you fight waves
Yeah,
of things
it's
in a circle.
very much yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
The
That's the
gameplay
game.
loop is that. But
Okay, because what I wanted was something more Diablo-ish, where it's more of an open environment and you're just fighting things. as you
No,
move
it's
through
very
it.
much like specific zones that you have
But
to do fights in.
the fun comes from the interaction, and like I don't think we've got a full roster list of heroes yet.
No, we've seen
We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot,
Um,
but the interactions that we'll have in gameplay with those heroes will be really, really enjoyable for anyone who's whether it's be a fan of the MCU or longtime fans of the comics. Like the Ultimate Alliance games are just fan fun.
It's
What
power
kind
fantasy
of-
times 4. Like
What kind of game are they?
It's a beat 'em up.
Oh, okay.
It's a 4-player up to 4-player beat 'em up where if you just play single, you just switch between the 4 heroes that you can control.
Okay.
And
So like 2D or
Top-down 3D.
isometric,
Okay.
isometric to 2.5D. Just very, very fun. But yeah, the bigger the roster, the more fun it's going to be.
It's pretty much the power fantasy of like,
Yeah,
what if these
it's a
4
pa-
heroes actually did shit
100%.
together?
It is a power fantasy,
Yeah.
but it's a power fantasy using properties that are very near and dear to my heart and to the hearts of many. So I'm really, really excited for a game that I didn't think was ever going to come.
I am really waiting for the beat 'em up version of the Archer universe.
The Archer universe. Why don't we have Archer games?
They're actually really,
Jughead and
now
Machina.
that they've got like Riverdale and Sabrina and all
Yeah,
that
but
stuff. They really do.
We could, because do you remember that crossover that Archie did with Sonic?
I did.
What?
There was a crossover
Yes.
Archie comic with Sonic.
Oh wow,
It
I
could
totally
happen.
misheard you. I heard Archer.
No, Archie.
No. And
You know, like Jughead and stuff.
and then modern. There's also the Archie
Archie
zombie
would be
comics
great.
around these days, which are actually kind of hardcore.
Yeah, right?
Like all Archie
show
all
and
Archie
the-
things these days are kind of awesome.
Yeah, no, like Sabrina, like as you
all
know,
the
I only
reboots.
just recently started watching Sabrina. Once season 2 came out, I love that show. That show is so good.
I think it was actually the second part of season 1.
The second part of season 1 that got you.
No. I don't think there's season 2 yet. I think it was the second. I think it was broken up into 2 parts. The first season.
Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, no,
Just
100%.
being-
Like, cause
yeah.
yeah, fair.
Pointlessly, this like pedantic about it, but
I just
someone might go and look for season 2, and I don't think there is
the
one.
second release of Sabrina the
Yes.
Teenage Witch is just fantastic, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Because I already liked Riverdale, because I like Archie. I read those
I
comics.
need to get back into it because I left before it got crazy. And
Oh,
then I heard
did
about
you?
where it
Okay,
goes.
yeah,
I'm
no.
like, oh, okay. This show is funnier than I thought it was going to be.
And he's very attractive.
I can't really remember the actor. I'm sure he is. Wait. Oh yes, Amy, third best thing.
Ooh, I don't know. I like all 3 things that I'm gonna say next.
Choose one, and if
Put
the other
them in
ones
an
don't come up,
arbitrary order.
yeah.
I have been going
link
from
them,
that
link
anyway.
them in a weird way.
Animal Crossing.
Fair enough.
It's there.
Yeah, I'm
It
excited. It's slightly disappointing. I really wanted a town sim again.
But I
It's-
mean, it
It
counts.
will.
It's been done.
It looks like it's going to become one.
Yeah, it scales up.
yeah.
You,
but-
you start on a
Does-
desert
does-
island.
Well, not as full,
Yeah,
but like it's
but-
still very much
but
I mean,
I want-
becomes the
it's a
town.
But see that we do we know that yet, or do we
We've
know
seen-
it's a
we've-
camp?
Mm.
No,
I'd
we
make,
know it's a camping
I'd make a very
simulator.
well-educated
Well,
guess
we've
that it
seen
will.
a area full of houses and people.
I assumed that was the storefronts of the town that the hotel island or whatever she was on. But I could be wrong.
But the premise is an entirely deserted island. I think.
Yeah.
okay,
that's-
okay.
It's
that's-
an entirely deserted island that
I'm not a
flies
fan
at
of Animal
you.
Crossing
Yeah.
games, so this
Yeah.
is just not
So
my
the,
thing.
the island itself is just empty to start
So,
with.
okay.
And it's literally just building a thing from scratch.
Okay, so that, yeah, it's Minecraft for people who want cuter graphics.
Would
yeah,
you
it's
compare it
Animal
to
Crossing Minecraft.
Would you compare it to Lost in Blue? Because you shouldn't.
Lost
It's
in
not,
what?
not really. Just wait. You don't know Lost in Blue?
No.
It's a whole fucking series on the DS. It's awesome. It's like Blue Lagoon, the game.
Paul,
Oh,
I
Blue
didn't spend a
Lagoon.
lot of time
Paul,
with a DS.
the only game people played on the DS was Pokemon.
And Nintendo.
And
Feel the
Metroid.
magic.
Metroid.
And what?
And the new Metroid.
And electroplankton. And rocket slime.
But
Fucking
I didn't get
yeah.
to complain about Animal Crossing. I wanted a town sim. That's
But then-
basically it.
But then we said that we think it is.
Yeah, and then I'm still complaining because we don't know that fully yet.
Good. You
think
can make
we
an
did.
educated guess, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
but-
having
Like
seen the
it's,
town.
it's Animal Crossing.
Me
Thanks,
It's got crafting.
playing Animal
It'll
Crossing
get
is
there.
basically, oh yeah, I'll earn my bells, go
So
dig
what-
up some fossils.
no,
the trees.
that was the best part of the trailer. Where at the end it was just Tom Nook saying, "And here's your bill."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what sounds like what you need to do is outsource the start of the game to someone,
Yeah.
and then once
probably.
they've built a town, play in it.
Yeah. I will still probably. I'll be buying it day one.
Look, it's Animal Crossing. It looks
will-
very much.
Yeah, for people who like Animal Crossing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really just.
Sure.
I'm slightly disappointed
looks
by
nice.
that, but
It does
I'm
look nice.
excited
Actually,
just for the
You
entire thing.
patronizing bastard.
Yes. But
Coming from me, who picks up his phone when you guys talk
Yes.
about Pokemon.
but the one thing I do want to say about Animal Crossing, which I actually really enjoyed, the fact that it's been delayed because Nintendo want to focus
Yes.
on the health of
Yeah.
its workers. I think that is
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's what I was going to say next. Yeah, they're just so nice to sort of see. Oh yeah, we care about this thing that we're putting out.
Okay, and here's my picture. It's like a whole bunch of workers go like, "Fuck, we had all these holidays planned, and now we got to go for another 6 months." Ah!
Can't we crunch? No, not allowed.
Yeah, so it's delayed until next year.
Yeah,
So.
March.
Okay, so number 3, Samuel.
Astral Chain.
Oh yeah, I didn't put it on my list because you were
Oh,
being
yes.
jealous.
Fucking incredible.
Which one's
I
Astral
just-
Chain again?
That's
Yeah.
the platinum games
the
one.
Platinum
Switch
games on the
game
Switch.
with the
Where you are the
cops,
Yeah, the
cyber cop.
Cyber Cops, yeah.
with the
So-
crazy demons on the end of a chain.
The change.
Yeah. I mean, I already knew it was going to be an instant buy for me because it's a Platinum game. But after seeing all the gameplay across the 2 segments they've done, it's fucking incredible. Like,
I didn't like the
I'm
intro.
really excited.
The rest was good though.
Like, it's some of the mechanics going on, like some of this shit gets really in depth. Watching one of the devs fight 2 bosses was mental.
At once?
No, it was 2 separate. It was 2
Okay.
different types. So there was one boss that was like more humanoid-ish, your size, and one like massive creature boss.
So it's like there's.
But the reason they got him to show it off is because, like, so with Astral Chain, you have these things called legions, which are like the robots attached to you. There's 5 of them in total. You can have all 5. You have one out at a time, but there is an ability to de-link and then bring out a second one while the first one continues doing whatever it was doing. And watching a guy who made the game fight a boss with all 5 of them sure is an experience.
It was just
it's
like
incredible
poetry?
to watch. Like just
Okay.
like fast swapping between them to do all sorts of stuff.
Gorgeous.
Like one of them is this axe one. It's got it shields you. You've got like a little dog that you can like get on and run around really fast.
And it's a really good looking game.
But it looks incredible for
Yeah.
a Switch game.
Yeah.
Like absolutely incredible.
and runs really
like
smoothly.
it's exclusive, so it's obviously very optimized.
Yeah.
Runs smooth. There's a lot of like there's a lot of like little things that make no meaning for the whole game, but like small little additions that I had a little chuckle at. Like you're walking around the town and you're a cop, so you can pick up trash and put it in the bin, and you get little cop points, which are like the experience in the game, just for throwing trash away.
That's nice. I like that.
You get points for like cleaning things up. Yeah, there's it very
How-
much
how
seemed like a
much-
living world.
How much sort of like outside of combat stuff was there from what you saw?
A lot.
Yeah.
It seems like the game is fairly well split between doing detective type police work and following clues and quests and discovering storyline and fighting. And I don't think they said it explicitly, but they very much implied that whilst you're out and about in the world, citizens can just turn into enemies if they're near like the red matter that's laying
yeah.
about. You can clean up the red matter that's laying about, but if you don't,
Put it in the bin.
If you don't, and a citizen's near it for too long,
Get your cop points.
they might turn into an enemy in a fight. Like so there's a lot of like just randomized kind of living world type things going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm real excited.
I was very excited. I really kind of liked that we were all expecting Bayonetta 3 last year. Didn't show it.
Yeah.
Bring out this year. Oh, well, they have to show it. It's like, no, actually, we've actually been mostly focusing on this other new thing. Like, Bayonetta will be cool, but it's a known quantity.
Yeah.
This is like a
This is a
totally
whole
new
new
rad
thing.
thing. Yeah. Which is always very exciting.
It looks rad.
Okay, so my number 3, I'm just putting Devolver's Conference,
The whole
which
thing.
last year I thought was a little bit of a. I didn't love it as first as the first year they did it because it was a little bit just reiterative of what they'd already done. So this is continuing the storyline of last year's conference.
This is the one that I
We
skipped
now
out
have
on.
lore for Devolver,
There is-
basically.
there is
Devolver
conference
lore.
lore now, and it was mostly the main presenter had been shot in the head at the end of the last conference, and now she's being revived RoboCop style, but she's also
Nice.
in her own internal Matrix world where they're trying to side load in things to make her present things in a Nintendo's direct way. It was very
Devolver
funny.
Direct.
And then they actually had like good new stuff. Like one of the ones that I cannot wait was a new Enter the Gungeon game, but you're not playing it, at least at home, because it's an arcade light gun game.
I
You mean
looked it up.
House of the Gundead?
Ooh.
It is one of my special mentions.
Yeah.
You can buy it for home. They will ship it to a house.
Oh yeah, you can buy it, but
It's
isn't like
$5,000.
Yeah.
US?
Because it's an arcade. Yeah, US.
yeah, it's an arcade machine.
We can pitch in.
But I sure as shit want it.
Yeah, if everyone wants to pitch in, so I can buy it for me, it's fine.
I really, really,
Not for
really
you.
want one. But we've got a few arcades around Brisbane.
yeah, I'm
One
sure
of them will
some
get
it.
will
One-
get
one
it.
of the-
one of
Netherworld or
four-
Be Lucky will pick it up.
Yeah.
Netherworld, you've got the new Champside one. Like there
There's
are
enough.
there are plenty.
Tram slide one?
Like it looked fun,
Yes.
Yeah,
and I love light gun
arcade
games.
Champside.
Yeah, I love a
think
good
time-
light gun game.
No, I don't consider that to be much of an arcade.
I mean,
compared to
it's a place with video games in it.
Yeah.
Arcade video games, and you can pick up a hammer and hit a crocodile probably.
You can also play VR there now. It's very
Yes,
good.
They
you
do have some VR
Forgot about
setups
that,
there.
Yes.
You can also play VR in this very room.
You can, but not good VR.
It's still pretty good. You gatekeeping scum.
Get a Vive.
That was just
Get a real VR machine.
yeah. I had to get a new video card first, and I'm not doing that yet. No siree, Bob.
Yeah,
Well,
Devolver
What do
was
we?
fun.
The
Funnily
was
enough,
fun.
there's E3 news
And-
for you then.
About what?
AMD. New video cards, very cheap, very
But
powerful.
it wasn't E3 news.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
like a week before.
No, it was the AMD.
Oh, they did bring some new stuff then, because they mainly were
Yeah, the 5700 and the 5700X.
Yes, I am likely moving to AMD with the next stuff because it's better and cheaper.
It's better and cheaper.
On the
Yeah.
topic of Devolver, I did experience approximately 6 hours of their 12-hour pre-show.
Oh yes, yeah. But didn't the pre-show happen after the presentation?
It happened after the presentation, and it ran all the way until the pre-show of E3 the next day.
Nice.
So it's a 12-hour stream. And it sure was a trip for the bits I saw.
So give us a few highlights.
Well, the biggest highlight was actually just the fact that the Magic Sword did a whole full set of music. So Magic Sword are a synthwave band, and they're fucking incredible. They did the trailer music for Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah.
So they did a full hour-long set.
Nice.
Just to fill in time. Other highlights are they played Ape Out, and the live band, while they were playing Ape Out, the drummer did the music for Ape Out.
Actually
and
score
he
it live.
fucking nailed it.
Fucking
it
awesome.
was spot on what the music in Ape Out is, like the drumming. So that was incredible.
I played Ape Out this week as well because they Devolver, as they like to do a prank thing each year. This year
You didn't.
I played Ape Out Junior.
You played Ape Out Junior.
Yeah, so they released
Monkey Escape.
They released Devolver Bootleg,
Oh, yeah.
which is their own bootleg versions of their own games, which they released as a package on Steam for $6 or $7.
Enter the Gun Dungeon's very fun.
Yes, it is actually pretty good. I should have written down the names of all the games because they're pretty funny.
Enter the Gun Dungeon, Hotline Milwaukee.
Yeah.
The
The Ape Out Junior.
Yeah. I can't remember the rest of them.
There was the fighting game, the Absolver one. Yeah, Absolver. We can't remember what they called it. Damn it. Anyway, they're all
good.
they're all these like cheap demakes, except for well, actually the one that was like Downwell, that was just as good as Downwell, but a different take on it. But there was they have a like a Metroid Castlevania, like Castlevania, which is like Gato Roboto, which we reviewed last week. But there's more colors and art in that one. Apparently, he spent 2 months making that one.
Shooty Boots.
Yeah, Shooty Boots. That's Downwell.
Super Absolver Mini Turbo Fighting Championship.
Yeah.
Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania. Yeah, I got that one right.
Piku Biku Ball Stars.
Yeah.
And Lufttrousers.
Oh yeah, no, Lufttrousers 3.
No,
Yeah,
just
Lufttrousers
Lufttrousers.
Oh, Lufttrousers.
Lufttrousers.
I'm sure when you started it just says Lufttrousers 3.
Oh.
Which was anyway, it's pretty fun.
And you get to save 1% at the moment on Steam.
Yes, which is also a fantastic joke.
I really like their commitment to making a joke and then doing it.
Yeah.
Like their follow through is you just can't complain about it.
Devolver are like, I think I play everything they release these days. It's like even if it's not exactly
they do pick good games.
They pick good stuff. A bit Annapurna's a bit the same for me. They're just like, they are funding and working with really good people, and even if it's not exactly my genre, it's probably going to be interesting. Okay, so time for number 3, worst thing, Cal.
I mean, I'm okay. Let's be honest. It's Brave Exvius because the new Brave Exvius from SquareSoft is just more pay to win trash mobile. It's just very, very insulting. What was it? War of the
something.
War of the something.
War of the Wallets.
It's just more pay microtransactions.
I like how they
filled.
said this is the start of the world of whatever the world
that's it.
is.
Yeah,
in
Brave Exvius. This is the start of the world of Brave Exvius.
So we're going to make more of these
Cool,
things.
that's what we need. Brave Exvius is possibly the worst of the worst mobile games when it comes to microtransactions and pay to win. It's just so bad.
What I like about you all agreeing is I'm like, not only did my eyes not focus on whatever this announcement was, I've never heard any of these words.
Final
before in my
Fantasy
life.
Brave Exvius.
I know those first 2 words.
It's the shitty microtransaction mobile Final Fantasy thing.
Oh, I gathered, but
So they've
I
now
have-
added an expansion pack to a mobile game.
Oh, is it pay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to pay to get the expansion.
Paid
back to the market.
DLC on a mobile game.
Well, no, it's a paid new
expansion.
game.
Oh,
That
fun.
you've got to so all the money that you spent on the first one, it doesn't count anymore. Spend again.
It's hard to count money. Amy, what's your number 3 worst thing?
Don't have one.
You had a number 4, but not a number 3.
Yep.
Okay.
She's done now.
It's just as I think of them mostly.
Speedy J, what do you got?
Well, my next 3 worst things have already been mentioned, but my third was Lego Star Wars.
Okay, like I said, was it?
Yeah.
So my number 3 was Ubisoft, just because they didn't bring the weird this year. They started off with, they came the orchestra. I'm like, oh no, nice, strong, classy start. and then they had like a good dance troupe halfway through for Let's Dance. I'm like,
It was
this
a
is-
short one though.
Yeah, this is like wholesome fun. Okay, but where's like the Trials guy in an Evil Knievel suit pratfalling through the stage, like calling up Miyamoto and like, oh, we've got rabbits, we got. It's like it was solid, it was fine. But they weren't surprised, and there weren't any developers being weird and crazy and awkward on stage.
Because they weren't releasing anything weird and crazy this year.
But I mean, Charles isn't weird and crazy. They still
They
managed.
brought a dog out. That was about it.
That actually, the dog was very exciting for me. And he was
a good boy.
Oh, that dog was real fucking stressed.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm gonna sit here because I'm
Stage
being
fright.
told to, but
Gets us
fuck
gets
this
to us all.
room. Fuck this room."
Poor doggy.
Yes,
Too many words.
with John whatever from that's being the like
The Punisher.
yeah, but I was thinking of his real name, John something,
Can't remember.
John Punisher,
John Punisher. John Everyman.
who's in the new Ghost Recon, which looks fine.
I mean, yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah, it's again like all of the Ubisoft stuff was like that's fine. Well, with one exception. Oh shit, why isn't that on my top list? I expected someone else was going to say it. Well, let's find out in the next two. Okay.
It's not going to be me.
What about you, Cal?
Well, no, I don't have a Ubisoft game.
Fuck. Okay, I'm going to add a 2.5 for me.
Oh, if we're doing that, then I've got extras too.
Callum, what is your number 2 best thing?
You see, this is not fair. I've got like 5 things that I need to talk about because none of you guys are mentioning them.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll do it.
We'll get that.
So number 2.
long as
Mention
it's-
one, and if
as
not,
long
we
as
just
it's
talk
not
over.
mine.
Number-
There's not a hard rule here. In fact,
number
I'm not even going to let you talk anymore.
As long as you're not going to say my two.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
It is
Sure.
a video game.
It is a video
Sure.
game. It's
We saw more gameplay.
we did
Yeah.
see more gameplay. We saw gameplay
Yeah.
because we hadn't seen gameplay yet.
That's one I've been interested in, but I haven't actually looked into it.
So
That's the
it's
vampire one,
yeah,
isn't it?
it's solid. We had a couple of announcements pre-E3 about what clans are going to be available if you're into the VTM universe. It's
You know he is because he calls it the VTM.
Yes.
That's how you know.
World of Darkness. Sorry.
The World of Darkness.
Yeah. So
Darkness.
we got some solid looking gameplay. We got some character introductions, but not really. It's looking like a solid, very cool looking game that I'm really interested to try out because Masquerade's Bloodlines is one of the
really
best
good.
RPGs ever made, and I'm really hoping that they can knock it out of the park. And Paradox aren't a bad developer, so let's hope that they can actually continue the legacy that they've got to work from.
It's not in.
It does look like it's going to wrap up to be.
I believe it.
very
I think
solid
no,
experience.
because Paradox own it.
Yeah, but they're just like they're publishers, aren't they?
No, they own it. I think they're the ones making it because they're the ones that own it.
We're about to find out.
They bought it
But
from.
it does look like it's going to wrap up to be a solid experience.
Yeah, and so, Seattle, cool. Venture, cool. Malkavians, cool.
Cool.
I like Melks. Melks are fun.
Yeah, I just seen Hardsuit Labs, which is just a wing of Paradox.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's like the team within.
Yeah.
Because I don't normally see Paradox next to something as a developer. It's normally yeah. Number 2, Amy.
Fantasy Star 2.
Fantasy Star 2, bringing it back.
Yes, I've been
Well.
wanting to try it out. That's about it. There's cool robots and stuff.
Does anyone?
Cal has more words about it, as far as if I can remember correctly.
I just know that it's a solid-looking MMO
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
very,
It's a
very
very,
popular.
very,
I don't
very
know much
popular
about
MMO.
it, but
I don't
yes.
know how grindy it is, and that will be
Yeah.
my.
My main concern over it is incredibly popular and by all reports decent. My only concern is that when especially MMOs sit in this world where between the Western MMOs and the Eastern MMOs, they're entirely different games.
They're
Entirely different markets.
Eastern MMOs are not.
They're
They're not.
such a different market with such a different core design to everything they do. I will be interested to see how they bring it across. If they do anything to change it,
Don't think they need to with
I don't think they
stuff like
have to.
Black Desert and
Like, it has been happening a lot more
Arcade
often.
And the other, Aeon wasn't successful here, but that was because it's just bad.
I don't remember
Like-
Black Desert. Desert.
The like Black Desert is just microtransactions. That's the problem.
The
Yeah.
Eastern
MMOs are
MMOs
microtransaction
live
crap.
in microtransactions.
Yes.
They thrive in
They do,
microtransactions.
and we don't.
No.
Western MMO players, even the ones that are super into Eastern MMOs, will not engage in that system.
No.
Not as a general rule. Like
So
obviously,
the-
there is those 3 or 4 people that we all know that when Arcade came out, they dropped $10,000 into the
Yeah,
game.
that's
The
mental.
guy in our
But
guild on Maple Story 2 that dropped like how much was it? A few grand within the first.
Yeah, he spent a lot of
weeks?
money.
I know one person who spent $3,000 on a single sword in Arcade.
Wow.
Like there are,
I don't know these
there's
people.
always
No, you
whales.
don't, and you will never meet them.
There's
No.
always whales, but yeah, I'm very interested to see how it translates across.
Yeah,
and whether
Yeah.
I'll give it a
the
shot.
core gameplay of it can keep it held up.
I don't think it will.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was-
it'll.
But I'll give it a shot.
I think it'll be DOA, but I'll play it because
Yeah.
sure.
Because it's a new MMO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a new MMO and I play them all.
Actually, it's an old MMO.
New in air quotes,
Yes.
full.
I'm just trying
I was
to remember,
already
was
on
that
that.
Pedantic Paul.
I knew that was
being
coming.
pedantic.
Was that one an Xbox One exclusive, or was it also coming to PC?
It's
No,
It'll-
PC.
eventually?
It's an
it'll be PC
Xbox
and Xbox.
console exclusive, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Ba, 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 da, ba. Okay. Number 2, Samuel.
Tales of Arise.
Tales of Arise.
And you can get up me for there being no real gameplay again if you wish.
It was pretty.
The new Tales of game.
Oh, that's right. This is all the stuff that I can't see
This
because
is-
it looks
this
it
is
looks
the-
it all looks so much like a lot of the other stuff that I just go like, which one's which again?
The Tales games are hands down my favorite JRPG games.
So I know nothing of the Tales games.
They're all so think of it like a Final Fantasy. There's
Yeah.
a lot of them. They're all separate.
They're all
all
separate.
their own
Are they
contained stories.
Are they turn based? Are they action? Do they change?
They change. So there's been some that have been just real time action based. There's a few that have had kind of weirder systems. One, the most recent one that's come out on Switch that I'm playing is Vesperia, Tales of Vesperia, and the combat in that is it's real time action based, but it's forced into a 2D plane.
Okay.
But you move in a 3D world. So when you're targeting a
Yeah, I see a bunch of those,
when
yeah.
you're attacking a specific monster, you're only moving left and right. But you can
very
you can break
narrative
away.
driven?
Very, very narrative driven. I've been sucked into those stories more than once.
And sort of, and I because this one was this on the Microsoft show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember it being quite pretty
It's
anime looking
very,
game.
it's gorgeous. So
Yeah.
most of the Tales of games have been either 2D or kind of sitting in like the Ni no Kuni realm of like cartoon 3D. This looks like they've taken that next step to being still cartoony anime look,
They're almost getting
but-
up to that Dragon Ball Z.
but it looks
Fighters.
it looks real
Oh,
gorgeous.
that looks so
Like,
good.
Fighters is such a fucking good
Oh no,
looking
no,
game.
I mean like what was that? It was Dragon Ball Z.
Kakarot.
That one.
Kakarot, yeah.
I can't
Just-
believe I forgot about
which one's
that.
Kakarot?
Kakarot's the
The
new
new
one. They just got announced
On
this thing.
Xbox.
That
The action
look,
RPG.
the conversation naturally got turned to one of the things that's not on my list, but we need to talk about. This game looks amazing.
It does.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't think it looks as good as Fighters. I'm just talking visually.
Oh, visually, I mean, visually, it's pretty much the same as Fighters.
It didn't look to get there to me. I'm
Um,
very judgmental about my anime line work.
Yes,
well,
yes.
Kakarot is an anime. It's not hand drawn. Like I believe, Fighters is close to hand drawn.
No, it's 3D. It just looks like it's hand drawn, which is why it's fucking amazing.
Okay,
I look at it and go like, how do they make it look like that? It's a 3D game.
because it's a 2D plane, so it's really
It's a
easy.
bit- Tell that to history. Anyway, continue.
I'm just really excited for Kakarot
Yeah,
because
yeah, it
to
did
play
look good.
through the Dragon Ball Z storyline in a game as Goku sounds fantastic.
and finally get the story.
Oh, but it's only just been given that name though, isn't it? Because for up until now, it's the one that was just known as like, literally
It's
like
the RPG.
No, yeah, it was called like Dragon Ball Z game, like the story thing. And I was like,
Yeah.
this can't be the name. What the fuck are they talking about? Yeah.
That got rebranded to DBZ Kakarot.
Yes, I'll be interested to hear some actual play on because from the people I've heard about playing it, they're like, it's kind of like Jump Force. Like, okay.
I'm worried, but I'm really hoping
I mean,
that
it
I'm
said
not.
the words action RPG.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, I don't want a hardcore fighter or anything, and
I kind of do. I want a hardcore beating
That
them.
looks
you're,
like some- that
you're,
looks like
you're,
some
you're a
bullet hell
fighter
moments.
friend.
I am a fighter friend.
Yeah,
I
you're a fighter.
I am.
I meant to said fan, but friend it is.
Friend works.
Fighter friend. Okay. We are
Paul,
on
number
to
2.
me.
Because I was mentioning Tales of.
That's the right thing.
There's
Okay,
so much
I
to
had
say.
to. Well, I'm going to switch, even though that's big. I'm going to talk about the big one at Ubisoft, which we had completely leaked, but it was good to see it. Watch Dogs Legion. Which
the thing that I
nearly made
apparently
my list.
completely missed the leak for. Because I was genuinely
So did I.
surprised.
Yeah, okay, when you're like, this is amazing. I'm like, oh yeah, but it's just, you haven't even seen the cool stuff. This is just the stuff we already knew about. You're like, the what? It's like, okay, so new Watch Dogs based in London, and it does the thing that was spoken of, but the presentation was very well put together, which is that you do not play a protagonist, you play everybody. So in the game, you recruit, and this is actually a problem narratively for me.
Everybody.
You can recruit any citizen around the world to join you. You just may have to do something to get them to join up with you. The only problem with that politically, because it is even though Ubisoft doesn't do political games, I mean, at least the team in this is like going, yeah, it's a political game. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's a post-Brexit London where you're fighting authoritarian forces in a hacking group that call themselves Legion. I mean, Jesus, how can you not be political in this?
I'm sorry, they don't take a side.
Yeah. But literally anyone can join you. It's like, well, that's not real life. I mean, I can't meet a neo-Nazi and make him join my Greens party. But other
You just
than
have
that,
to make him see your way of thinking.
so they sort of focus on the story, and you start as a character, and then after a while he dies, and then it sort of zooms out, and it goes, okay, who do you want to be next? And you go, I'll be the old lady, thank you. And so then the next part is played as an 80-year-old woman that was an ex-assassin, and you do a little trip and you're tasering guys and beating the shit out of them, and then you play as this. So sort of what they do is they have the people are classes.
Well, here's the trick.
Yeah.
You choose the class.
Kinda, but you
do.
But people have the specialities. So
They
when
have
you find them-
specialities and stats.
Yes,
You pick
but
one
then
of
you add
three
the
classes.
Then
to
you
get
add
them.
the class on top of those stats and skill sets.
Yeah.
I want to make an entire game where I don't play anything but teenagers.
Nice.
Like you probably
Why?
can. It might take a
Teenagers
little bit
are
of
the best.
It might take a little legwork to get to the
Why?
point where you can be that specific about who you want. But the thing that they're showing in the trailer is like everyone is voiced. The way they did the story, like it interrelated and went there, and I immediately just going fucking bullshit on these systems. You can't do that for a whole world.
the whole city, yeah. Like all of
I
London.
am willing to. I'm not willing to buy it all the way, but I'm willing to buy now almost all the way as I've heard more people play it. Because one of the things I was like, man, as they're doing this recruiting system and everything, they should have it working on the other side. They should be doing Watch Dogs of Mordor. They should be having, and they are. If you kill a guard, that guard might have family. And you killing that guard will make them anti your organization. And so on.
So there's a lot of
so how these will necessarily
systems at
come
play.
up, I'm not sure, but they have a lot of systems and they've taken that stuff into mind. So whilst, like, it's fully voiced, but God, like, let's say there'll be 40 voices, which is still a shitload of voices for an entire game. So hopefully that they've got enough systemic stuff in there that these can be interesting choices. And they're really pushing, like, if you want to make a garden club that is like the hacking thing, it's like, you can. And I think it really ties into thematically what they're doing. It's really interesting. I think it will be a little bit more generic than they're posting out just because of the realities of making this stuff work. But it's an interesting angle to take.
It's a real interesting angle.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely very excited for Legion. I bought Watch Dogs 1 day one. Played it and went, oh, you guys lied a lot. I'm really disappointed.
That's why I've kind of stayed away from that series.
Then Watch Dogs 2 came out and I'm like, yeah, pass.
Yeah.
And
Two-
then
two's pretty
every
good.
single review of 2 has just been like, oh, by the way, if you played 1 but didn't want to play this one, play this one. This one's fantastic. This
Okay.
should have been the game. And I'm like, I might pick it up when it's cheap. I'll just play it now on Uplay Plus. But what, Legion? Yeah, done. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Day 1 play for me.
It's pretty rad. Okay. Actually, just before I move on, that, does anyone's number one have a C starting with?
Yeah.
Okay, well then we'll wait. So it's number 2 bad
No.
things. What was your number 2 worst thing?
Number 2 worst things. I actually, it's just. I don't want to be that guy, but
You can be.
Okay,
Please
cool.
be that guy.
Fuck Ubisoft's. Let's make a licensed mobile game with all of our stuff in there because it's not even a good game.
Oh, the Tom Clancy
Yeah.
one. What would be better if it had all their stuff in it? So
Yeah,
it's
well,
like-
no, because you can get Assassin's Creed.
You can't get Rawmen though.
No, you can't get. Oh my god, that would be fantastic.
It would be fun.
If I could have
Is
Raymond,
that's what would make it okay?
I mean, yeah. Like if I could pit Raymond up against
Callum,
like,
just tilt your
yeah.
mic back or get closer.
if I could get Raymond pit up against members from Rainbow Six Siege, yeah. No, I want to play that game.
Yeah, true.
But no,
I actually have the name written somewhere.
Well, yeah, what was it?
Tom Clancy's Elite Squad.
That's the one.
there we go.
What an entertaining name. Amy, what's your number 2 worst thing?
The Funko Pop thing.
The what?
The Funko Pop.
Gears
thing.
Pop.
Oh, that's all. I mean, we reviewed that on the show weeks ago because Australia's the test bed.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I played it. It's average.
It's totally what it
exists.
says it is, and I was done.
I
I
was
never had to
just-
play it again.
I put
just
like
seeing
4
it.
hours in.
It is entirely pointless.
Just seeing it just made me upset for some reason.
And for those listening at home, I believe Amy just hates pops as well.
Pops, it's,
Yeah.
Pops are fantastic.
Are they?
Yeah.
well, something's got
They're
to create
so
landfill.
dead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
What,
that
they're
too.
dead?
That
Something
looks
needs
so
to
dead.
fill up all the wall space at random stores.
Yeah,
Exactly.
at all EB games.
Something has to
alive.
save
Game traders.
Yeah,
brick
game
and mortar
traders.
stores. Yeah.
EB Games need something to build their booth out of it. Perhaps.
Yes.
They need something to get rid of for 10 cents on the last day,
Yes.
and they're all out of Ray dolls.
Yes, because you bought them all.
Yeah. You made sure they were out of Rodolph.
I like to
Leave
chuck them at
those. Did we
people.
leave any at the hotel?
I think we
I
left
think we
one or
did.
two.
Yeah, you bastards! I gave them to you as a gift.
I've
We
got
gave
one
them to
under
the
my bed
hotel as a
still.
gift.
Don't worry.
It's true. Sam, what is your number 2 worst thing?
It was Commander Keen, so we can just skip
That's
past
good. My number 2 worst thing is, and now I will reiterate, most of these are disappointments, not these are bad things.
Yeah.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen
it.
Order.
Oh boy.
It has such a big build up to this game. I was waiting forever to see Respawn, very, very, very good developers, what they're going to do. It's a single player thing, and they showed the gameplay demo, and it was very dry.
It
Yeah.
might be good.
Very, I actually
I'm
think
sure it is.
It will be at worst be good. It still has the potential of being very good to great, but after so much,
They didn't market it well.
so much just like holding off and like wait, we're we're going to give you the name.
You mean-
now,
you
now
mean-
we're going to give you a teaser, a title screen, and we're going to just give you a story. Finally you're going to see the gameplay, and it's like, oh, it really is just a by the numbers third person action game. Okay.
Nice.
You mean the game that they announced by running up to the developer as he was sitting in the crowd and putting him on the
No,
spot?
they'd already announced it.
Had
That's
that-
when they announced
named
the title.
They named the title. Yeah, the
Yes.
title in the literal worst way I've ever seen announce a title of a game ever.
And it's
Hi, we just shut
yeah.
down Visceral. What's the name of the new Star Wars game that we're making now?
It's really like what I want from Respawn is I want the creativity that went into the Titanfall 2 campaign.
Yeah.
I want to see
Yeah.
some of that shine through. And at the moment, there's just climbing walls, pulling switches, and like stylishly fighting some things. It's fine.
What I want from Respawn is gameplay that's as well polished as Apex Legends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Let's go on to number
That'd
one
be nice.
best things. No. Let's do number one
I think
worst
best to
thing so we
last.
don't end on worst things.
Yeah.
Number one worst thing, Callum.
I'm good. All my things have been like Gears Pop was my number one worst thing.
Amy, what was your worst thing?
Paul getting drunk?
What's wrong with that?
It was.
I didn't even try to sexually assault anybody.
You didn't.
He didn't.
Didn't.
So.
That's why it's the worst.
Your funeral.
You just opened a door.
Yeah, I don't know.
I regret
Door's
everything.
not the only thing open. And what's
As I
your,
said, I'm fine with E3.
your worst thing?
Just the Fallout 76 nonsense.
Well, my worst thing, I'm going to put Microsoft square in my sights
Do it.
for having an entirely competent, fine show with lots of decent games, but with the entire world looking at you and having all opportunity to frame what the next generation was going to be. The best you could do was a meaningless video with a bunch of buzzwords that are entirely
Yes,
bullshit
I forgot about that because
and
it's so bad.
show nothing.
What they did was say, we've built a PC again.
Yes, like we know you're making something and it will be powerful in at least some measure. Show us your vision. Show us what is to come.
They can't
Pretty
do that.
Pretty
They can't risk it.
Risk what?
Because they risked showing us our vision, 2 E3s ago, and they got nearly destroyed for it.
Well, yes, but
Fair point.
They're not going
they're not
to...
that company anymore either.
No,
at
you're
the
right. They're
moment.
not that company
Yeah.
anymore, but I don't think their
The
image has
gaming
recovered
community
enough to
has
take
long
that risk.
memories.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you even because they made a few sort of jabs at their own past and that where they straight up said things like, we're their games focused number one, and like, it's just like it's all about the games, and it's like, well, show me. Just put the words on screen. Just put. We all know Fable 4 is being made. It's the worst kept secret in the fucking industry. Just say Fable 4 on the on the next Xbox codename, whatever. Like, you don't need the name out there yet. Just something like a stupid render that's like just at specs or something.
Fable 4, Gears 6.
Just put the shit out there.
Yeah.
Halo Double Infinite.
Yes, Double Infinite. Woo, Mobius Strand.
It'd be Infinity plus 1, wouldn't it?
Infinity plus 1.
No, a Halo Klein bottle. That would be fun.
That would work.
It was just a massive missed opportunity. In the instead of, I mean, it didn't have to be that, but either way, they didn't show themselves as industry leaders. They just showed themselves as status quo.
I just genuinely think they're petrified of having Xbox One announcement part 2. They didn't want to risk anything, and I think I from a business point and from a shareholder's point, which is the point of E3, they did the right thing.
Kind of, it is. Yeah. You know what I think? Future of E3. I think next year it's on a weekend.
Yeah,
because
that'd be nice.
Please.
That'd be really nice.
Please give it to us on a weekend for Australia.
Well, no, because guys, you're forgetting that's the show which only started yesterday for realsies.
Yeah.
That would put the conferences square in the middle of the week. But that's the thing. The show is still a week during the week event, but it's becoming more and more public.
It is.
Well, yeah.
So if it's a public event,
this year.
they did. Yeah, the last 2 years they've just sold straight tickets. Yeah, last year as well.
They sold tickets last year.
I mean, half the floor space is now just esports and other bullshit like that. It's like it's not a industry show anymore. No. Okay, so number one best things.
So mine is Baldur's Gate 3.
And I thought I was going to be unique.
No.
Damn,
Baldur's Gate 3, man.
Yep. Okay, that's two of us.
One, thank God. Two, it's not being given to BioWare.
Exactly.
So, real happy about that. I
like those Cthulhu, man.
It's been given...
Mind Flayers.
It's been given to probably the only studio 100%. I would trust with it.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
The only studio I would trust with it, yes. It's the only studio that I would trust with Baldur's
There
Gate
is probably a lot of studios that could do an okay job.
Yeah, but no
Larian
are going to do a perfect job.
It's going to absolutely blow it out the park. Guaranteed.
Divinity Original Sin developers.
Yeah, Divinity Original Sin developers. Because Divinity Original Sin 2 is everything. Who did Pillars?
No, that's Exile.
Yeah, they're the only other developers that I would have been like, yeah, sure. Yeah. They're the only other ones, the people who did Pillars.
I feel they're a little old school.
But that's sort of why I would be okay with it, because...
I want a new take on old school.
Well,
But Crossfire was
I'd be okay with
wilder.
the Pillars guys doing it if it was old school, but knowing that it's not
knowing
old
it's
school,
5th Ed?
Knowing it's 5th edition, and knowing that they're tying it into their current lore.
And we get the supplement. We get the supplement first.
Well, yeah, I'm already bought into that.
I've already ordered it.
I have all the campaigns anyway. I'm a D&D nerd, but
I've already pre-ordered my special edition.
Look at these two nerds.
The special edition or the platinum edition?
Well, I'm getting the one that matches my special edition books.
You should buy the $500 platinum edition.
I'm not buying a $500 edition. I mean, I didn't know there was one.
Callum,
But maybe
I will be.
Of course.
I've got the other ones.
Not much more than what else you've been buying recently.
I've got the other platinum D&D stuff. So.
The Waterdeep one.
Yeah, and Saltmarsh.
It's got so many feelies.
Saltmarsh is on the way. But yes, Larian, we haven't seen anything. They're refusing to even talk about the systems in play.
We know that it's...
They had him on stage at the PC show, and he straight up refused to answer questions.
We know that it's 5th Ed based. We know that it's...
and that they've tweaked it for game rather than for tabletop.
And we know that all the classes are going to be there. We know all the races are going to be there. So everything you can be in D&D 5th Ed now, you can be in Baldur's Gate 3. So that means... Yes, you can be Dragonborn. You can be... I wonder if that's going to include all the supplements. We don't.
It might do.
It might. It's going to be a very, very exciting time for people who like CRPGs. Yeah. Because they're the best. Yeah. They're the best.
I've never played an actual game one. I've only ever played the tabletop, so...
Yeah.
You've definitely played games based on D&D.
For Amy's benefit, because Amy is part of my 5th edition D&D campaign at the moment, and it's the first time she's ever played it. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 were hands down... They were D&D in video game form.
Yep,
they were the purest experience of D&D you could get in video game form. Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be exactly the same. It's going to be 5th edition D&D in game form.
Okay.
the stuff Larian accomplished with Divinity 2 specifically
So good.
was like, I've put in ridiculous numbers of hours, and I've had to wait on the person I've been playing it with to continue putting in those hours. And just every single moment of that game
Do you reckon
blew my mind away.
Do you reckon we'll get a campaign builder?
I can almost guarantee it.
I can't wait.
Like, looking at the state of D&D currently and how many virtual tabletops there are, all of the online streaming setups that are happening.
Oh yeah, Wizards
The world of D&D is very digital already. If they release Baldur's Gate 3 and they give us a campaign editor that you can run your own shit in,
Yep,
that's
what I'm expecting.
it'll be beautiful.
Look at these nerds.
But
Nerds.
regardless of any other releases in whatever year it comes out, it'll be my game of the year.
Yep, 100%. I agree with that. Oh my god!
Even
I'm
if it
so
comes
happy.
out in the same year as Cyberpunk
And Outer Wilds.
and Outer Wilds.
Okay, Amy, what is your number one?
Can I say it?
Yeah, you can try.
Cyberpunk.
But why?
Because it's more gameplay of a game that I'm very excited for.
There was no gameplay shown.
And what was it?
There was a
No, there was no gameplay.
There was a pre-rendered
Okay.
cinematic trailer.
Gameplay was last
They
year.
are showing
What am I thinking about then? I don't
I
know,
don't
but
know.
I'm
Keanu.
thinking, probably yes.
Keanu Reeves. That was the excited. At the end of it, they showed Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves came out on stage, and he's handsome,
and he was
lovely.
breathtaking.
He was breathtaking,
Breathtaking.
and then he said, "You're breathtaking," and it memified the whole thing.
Yep.
And he is not just a cameo in that game; he is a main character that
I
is
have
there
some-
the entire length of the game.
I have some extra news on that.
Yes.
I've got some extra information.
About his name, Johnny Silverhands.
He is Johnny Silverhands. I've got even more extra information.
Yes.
Because Johnny Silverhands is a known NPC in the lore of Cyberpunk
Yes.
2020,
Ah,
the tabletop version.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to be in 2077, 57 years later, seems a bit weird.
not really.
They have
because-
responded that he's a hologram.
Yes, he's in your head.
He's in your head.
Nice.
Oh my god, he's with you all the time.
He is your
He's
Johnny
with you the
Mnemonic.
whole time.
I'm
Yes,
so excited.
You
now.
literally, your companion is Keanu Reeves
I
the
don't
whole
want
game.
him to be my companion. I want to be his companion.
Maybe you are.
You've got a city. To
Who knows
build.
what the story is?
Mm.
If he's the AI in your head.
Considering you'll actually go into cyberspace in this game,
Yeah.
maybe you can get it on with Keanu Reeves in cyberspace.
I'm so happy
I am-
because I
yeah.
love the concept of The Witcher, but I hate The Witcher combat. So I'm really, really excited for Witcher level storyline in a world and combat system that I care about and enjoy.
I like The Witcher combat.
Yeah, I struggled.
I've
Not,
never understood the complaints. Anyway,
I struggled not putting Cyberpunk on my list at all. Purely, I felt like it was too easy.
That's
I-
it. It was too easy. That's why I didn't put it
best
on.
moment wise, the Keanu
It's
reveal was
definitely
huge.
right up there.
But the best game, like it's one of those things.
Like-
Like game wise, I didn't learn anything.
Yeah, they
No.
gave us another cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool,
Which
and
is good.
Keanu's cool, and the game's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. My number one is, of course, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yep.
Motherfucker!
I was waiting for you to say that.
Luigi's
Looks
Mansion's
super fun.
cool. It looks really, really fucking nice.
I
The
played-
world's nice and reactive.
I played the arcade version in Japan.
Oh, yes, I played it too,
So
yeah.
fun.
I didn't quite understand everything I was doing.
Yeah, I kind
The
of.
general gist of it I
Yeah.
did, but by the time I died, I'm like, why did I die? Anyway.
I lasted a bit too long. I went there with a couple of friends, and they were stuck looking for me at the end because I'd stayed in there too long.
You're just in the dark with your vacuum cleaner. Funk, funk, funk. It's got a really good thud as it pulls in the coins.
So good.
Yeah, so Luigi's Mansion 3, it's in a hotel, multi-story, big open world again, like the first
Really
game.
good choice.
Not like the second where it's sort of instanced. One of the things I find weird was that when they did the remake of the first one on 3DS,
Yep.
they had the sort of co-op buddy, the green Luigi, and it was kind of pointless and just like, man, did they just want to like not texture Luigi or something? It's like, is there a resource limit? They can't get they can't repeat the textures. What the fuck's going on? Well, it turns out the whole reason it exists in the remake is because they'd already designed him for 3. And they were like, oh, well, we could put that in the other game. Because in 3, there's an actual reason, and he's made of goo, so he is... You can either swap
Actually
between him,
Luigi.
or it's a 2-player game, and he can, like, walk through spikes and stuff, because he's made of goo.
Yeah.
That's not going to hurt. But watch out if he's near a drain or something,
Yeah.
or he'll get sucked down. It's, like, super charming. It's
yeah.
got a four-player multiplayer mode, which can be couch or online.
Eight.
It's 8. Oh, cause,
Eight,
oh
yeah.
yeah, it's 8 because the goos as well. Just everything just what I want from that game. A really, really nice package. It just seemed to have all of the possible options I would want.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Look cool.
Okay, so now that's sort of done, we've obviously all got a lot of stuff. So instead of just asking what the others are, I'm going to do I'm going to do like a hot round, and I'll call out things and make a quick comment if we've got a comment. And if there's anything I've missed after that, then we can go into those things because we're already over normal time.
Oh,
but
well
that was expected for the E3 episode.
Yeah, I mean,
It always
E3
happens.
episodes are always
Okay. Oh, actually, the one thing was when you saying campaign manager before, in the Ubisoft pre-show,
Yes.
they announced Assassin's Creed. There's a whole
Odyssey.
mission creator system.
Mission creation in Odyssey.
Yeah. You can build your own
Oh.
mini campaigns and everything.
Oh, that's going to be
That
fun.
was I spotted that after the fact and thought, yeah, cool idea.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, I'm going to skip things that were either unknown quantities or no. Bleeding Edge.
Yes, please.
Yep.
Yes, that's Ninja Theory's new sort of.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I did sign up.
Melee, I signed up.
Yeah.
Signed up
Basically.
straight away. Melee
Yeah,
fighter. Cool.
melee focused Overwatchy
Yep.
style
Very
character
excited.
based thing.
Fully fun.
Real solid
yep.
character design.
Yep, pretty cool. Blair Witch.
Oh, can't wait.
I will avoid it, but sure.
Why will you avoid it?
I don't do horror games.
Oh, you know, okay, fair.
Spiritfarer, which you were all excited by, but I wonder if any of you remember the game.
I do not.
Yeah,
The
it's
one on the boat.
one on the boat.
The boat,
Yes,
yes,
where
the
you have
one with the
a
pretty
cat
deers and stuff,
and a
the
deer
animals.
person.
The one where you
Sacrifice a deer.
It
Yeah.
appears that you're either sacrificing animals or whisking them off to their death, and you
Becoming
are
Sharon.
Yeah, you are Charon, whatever,
I thought it
however
was
you pronounce
Sharon.
it.
They're all correct, I think.
Yeah, it's like spelt Charon,
ancient
but it's
Greek-
pronounced Taron or something like
Ancient
that.
Greek mythology. Say it however you want.
Yeah.
The boatman. You're the boatman.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boatman. So yeah, you threw a lot
looks
of words
interesting.
out there, but it looks cool.
interesting.
So I just wanted to double check.
And the music.
Oh yeah. This is the developer that did Jotun and Sundered.
Yes.
So it's a bit, it's more pixel arty than their sort of previous stuff. I thought it was cool. Okay, Microsoft Flight Simulator's coming back.
Looks
Yay.
real beautiful.
2 petabytes of data in that thing,
Yep.
Wow.
which is why you need the cloud for it.
That's
Okay.
It's a lot of 4K.
there's-
It's a lot of 4K satellite imagery.
That's cool.
A game I'm surprised didn't come up anyway. Elden Ring.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
But there's
that's on my
nothing-
surprise.
Special
it didn't come
mention.
out.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
mostly just cinematic.
it's just
though.
cinematic.
Oh.
It's from Software and George R. R. Martin.
There is more info.
Oh yeah.
It's much bigger, much more open world, and there's horse riding.
Also,
Actually, that horse riding news is actually quite old.
so
Sam,
there is one thing. You know the skull that we saw at the end.
is it Murray?
So the skull that we saw at the end is I think it's nearly 1-for-1 perfect copy of a Berserker skull. So it's a very high chance that it appears to be Vikings.
No, okay.
That's cool.
Be
Because
interesting.
I was getting a few Finnish mythology vibes from
Yeah,
it.
so
it
it's
does
Scan-
very
Scan-
Scandinavian.
There's a
Scandinavian-based.
very big focus on limbs and limbs being removed and reattached and things like
Yeah.
that. It's creepy and cool. I like it.
Looks interesting.
My dog's a vi. Halo Infinite happened.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wait until
Ori-
there's actual
Ori-
gameplay.
Ori.
No Keanu. I did skip Ori just because. I mean, we've already all played Ori, haven't we?
Yeah,
Yep.
but still, it's got a release date.
It does. Is it next year?
February 20.
Yeah, that's next year.
I said February 2020. I didn't say the 2020 in the bit.
2020. Well, you know what they say about hindsight.
2020.
Wolfenstein Youngblood. They actually showed quite a lot of that. It actually is looking kind of rad from everything I hear.
And has a whole bunch of microtransactions.
Any that are meaningful?
Yes.
But in which
So,
way?
there's coins you get in the game, and you can use those to unlock guns and equipment, or you can just buy gold bars for money.
Yeah, but it's the actual balance of the game that matters. It's like Dead Space 3 was full of microtransactions. No one ever used them.
No,
Yeah, but
they're there.
that's the issue.
They
with it
shouldn't
is
need to
that
exist.
assuming that they
They
didn't.
shouldn't need to, but that also means you just. I mean,
You just ignore them,
I
but-
just don't ever engage with them as my protest.
Yeah.
Because they don't care if I don't buy it at all.
Yep.
They don't notice. That's all. Nah, that doesn't need. No, that's all VR games. Evil Genius 2! They showed it off. It looks like more Evil Genius, but it has been like 15 years, so I'm ready for another one.
Psychonauts 2? Or was it 3?
No, 3.
It was 2.
Yeah.
2.
Oh, did I just say 3
Yeah,
then?
you did.
Oh, my brain's died. Yeah, 2. And, well, we didn't go into it at all. Double Fine has been purchased by Microsoft.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
is
yeah.
really
which is-
interesting.
which is
Huge news.
Very, very
interesting.
big news for the industry.
Very interesting to see how that goes. Chivalry 2 was announced, and everyone's just like, but Mordhau's already out.
Yes.
Conan Chop Chop is real.
Chop, chop.
Yeah, which, okay.
We saw more of Maneater.
Man-eater.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, as a PC gaming show, they had a big
I
section
may
on
have
it.
blanked out on that one.
Yeah.
You play a shark. You
Oh,
fight
yeah, the shark,
an
the
evil
shark game.
fisherman.
That's right.
Um,
Evolution mechanics and stuff.
Gods and Monsters.
Yes, I'm interested.
I'm keen.
Give me a Greek mythology Zelda any day.
Yes,
Yeah.
from sort of like Assassin's Creed developer style. Basically, Callum had heard, when he was watching the reveal, he's like, this is just mythological Zelda. I'm like, look, they don't actually show any gameplay.
And then they showed
Let's
it.
not jump it. Well, they didn't show any gameplay,
No,
but then
but-
they showed like the one screenshot. It's like, yeah, that's exactly Zelda. You were
Yeah.
right. They're all ball
Excellent
games. Superliminal, which is just a little puzzle game. It's a little bit like a mixture of like Antichamber and Scale.
Yeah.
So a lot of perspective-based puzzles. So if you pick up something that's in the distance, it will actually be close to you but small. Some really fun ideas with that one.
I like games like that.
Yeah, some fun. Summer Catchers was just a small game. It had some of the best pixel art I saw all show. I can't not say Rawmen. Did anyone see Rawmen?
I did not see
No,
that.
I did not see that.
Okay, so you're like a fat naked man with a
What?
I thought it was a bowl of chili, but it must be ramen.
Was this when you took a break and went to the bathroom? Or-
so it's third person like arena based
Yeah.
action multiplayer game, and you're just running around with this bowl of ramen, but it's like Splatoon. It's like spreading the
just
splats
ramen-
everywhere and everything. It's wild. I don't
Okay.
know if it's going to be good, but it's crazy.
It's a good name.
Yeah,
Good name
Raw
for it.
Man.
Rawmen.
Yeah. Oh, the game before I said before is actually called a dual hand disaster. Trackher. So it's got a terrible name and it's unplayable. But who knows? Maybe it'll be a classic. Oh shit. No, we'll come back to that as that's a final thing beforehand. Smash Bros. Ultimate reveals having the Dragon's Quest heroes as one reveal and
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie in a very funny reveal trailer. I was happy with both. When it was just the one hero from Dragon Quest, I'm like, I don't even think that's one of the
They
cool
showed
looking
it was
ones.
like
And then it's like,
all
nah,
of them?
it's 5 of them.
Yeah.
It's like, cool. Then you know what that also means? 5 amiibos. I'll just get the best one. Witcher 3 coming to
Switch.
Switch.
Yep.
Which, like, I was quite happy.
I'm happy for that.
The footage they showed was running from the Switch version. And it's like, yeah, it's downgraded. And it looks to be running quite
They
well.
fun fact: the footage in the live direct versus the trailer, they removed all the corpses hanging from the tree.
How strange.
But in the trailer, they're there.
Well, we'll
So I
see.
guess they just made it a bit more presentable for the live.
Yeah, I think,
audience.
probably Treehouse.
Yeah.
The one I actually skipped that was going to be on my list, but I removed for Watch Dogs. Trials of Mana.
Yes.
Both. So this is I always forget how to pronounce it, but Secret of Mana 2,
Yeah.
aka third in the series, which never came to the West.
Yep.
They just released a Mana trilogy on
Yep.
Switch, which has the third one in English for the first time
Yeah.
fucking ever,
Yeah.
This-
which is ROM hacked.
It is.
It is ROM hacked, yeah,
Oh.
it is. That's how they changed the language in it. So they hacked their own game.
Nice.
But they're also doing a remake of it, which looks a lot better than the
It
Secret
does,
of Mana
yeah.
remake.
Yeah,
looks
because
very
that
good.
was going to be one of my... Well, I'm excited, but it was going to be one of my disappointments as well, because I expected to be sort of a remake of the games, at least.
The triple pack.
Yeah,
The triple pack.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, remaking all 3 would be a lot.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
but, like...
They're not small games.
No,
They're
no.
like-
I
yeah.
mean, like, we hadn't heard of this before. Had we?
Of what? With no,
At
it
least
was
Secret of Mana.
It was a sudden
No.
drop. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
So
was...
they did
Secret
a
of Mana
Secret
got a
of
remake,
yeah they did a
and
Secret
it
of
was
Mana
bad.
remake like
Yeah.
a year or 2 ago.
It was so bad.
Yeah, it was very
Okay.
badly done.
I wasn't. I never picked it up because I was like, I should pick it up
it
and,
was
and play through
really
it again.
bad.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
I'm
still
glad I
still going
didn't.
to
play
pick
the
a collection
original.
up.
Honestly,
Yeah.
play it
Right.
on the SNES Mini.
Yeah.
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 So that's the
I
other
mean-
thing. The triple pack, I'm not sure if I want to pay $60 for those.
Yes.
I'm
I
probably
don't
going to
wanna-
pick it
yeah.
up in a sale.
Just wait
Yeah.
until someone trades it in.
Yeah.
Or that.
I mean, they probably are doing a physical,
They are,
but
they're
no,
doing
I'll like a Nintendo sales. There's a good Nintendo sale on at the moment, actually.
Oh, yeah. Half price Hollow Knight. I'm going to be picking that up.
I mean, Hollow
is
Knight's cheap to
fantastic.
begin with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hollow Knight is
but, like,
fantastic. It's
that-
also
Oh no, I mean just like if half off. If you
Oh,
don't
no,
have it,
exactly.
go get it.
That was
yeah.
on my
Yeah.
bonus mentions list, by the way.
What? Oh, the
Silk Song.
yeah. No More Heroes 3 was announced.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah,
Panzer
sure.
Dragoon remake is happening.
Yep.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it came out of
exciting.
nowhere. I mean,
Like,
it's
here's
the
Panzer Dragoon.
original game, and
What?
it's pretty not jaw dropping, but it's nice. Empire of Sin.
Yes,
which
yes,
is
yes.
a gangster strategy game from John Romero. It's like
It
okay.
looks like weird, and I can't wait to play it.
It did look very odd.
It does.
Cadence of Hyrule comes out next week.
Next
mean,
week?
You mean tomorrow?
Friday.
I thought it came out on the 20th.
Nope,
Tomorrow.
Friday.
Oh, I've got the date wrong in my
13th.
head. Oh,
14th.
cool.
What's
14th
today,
for
the
us.
13th?
14th for us, 13th for the
Ah,
US.
okay.
I
I
thought
thought it
it
was the
be-
20th for
I'll
some
buy
reason.
it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I will be
Sorry,
buying it tomorrow.
And
so
it's $37.
and to correct you
Oh,
all,
okay.
I
it
won't be
came
buying
out.
it tomorrow.
It came out 3 days ago.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Fuck this time shield.
We're very close to the end. Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. Let's talk about that.
Oh, it looked very polished.
Why not?
My
Yeah,
4-year-old's
Had
super
Nintendo
excited.
polish.
There's one thing that you didn't mention that
Yes.
I just want to bring up. Lego cars.
Yeah, Lego cars.
Oh, the Forza. Just wait, it's Forza 5 now. Isn't
No,
it?
it's Forza 4.
Forza Horizon 4.
Horizon
Horizon 4. Yeah.
Lego cars, man.
So
Wow.
last time they did the Hot Wheels, and now it's Lego, and oh god, it looks
And a
so
whole
good.
new world
So good.
made
I
of
want,
Lego.
I want it to be a Mario Kart thing.
Why?
Why?
Because it'd be so cool.
I think it'd be
Mash
very.
those two awesome things together.
But
Just
you
wait,
can
which
drive
two
in an
awesome things?
open world.
Forza and Mario, or Mario and Lego?
Mario and Lego.
Oh, okay. I mean,
That's
that
Lego
seems redundant.
Races, one of the best
Yeah, I
racing games on the
guess.
PS1.
But still.
you just bring back Lego Races.
Yeah,
Fuck
just
yeah.
remake Lego Races.
I've got a copy of Lego Island 2 over there.
I'm sure Crash Team Racing was the far superior one on the PS1.
Lego Races was amazing.
Lego Races is pretty good.
Crash Team
You
Racing.
got to build your own cars.
Crash Team Racing is hot trash.
No, you could play as Crash in Crash Team Racing.
But Crash is hot trash.
You're hot trash.
I am.
Ew.
I thought we decided today when you wanted to insult Crash like that, you had to call it Hot
Crash.
Trash Bandicoot.
It's Trash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, he's fine.
Any game where you run at the camera is bad.
That's only some levels.
I hate those levels.
Those levels are bad and
They're
dumb.
fun.
Shouldn't have ever
I
happened.
liked them.
Anyway, anyone else have anything else before we wrap up?
Mythic Quest?
Mythic Quest, the TV
Yeah,
show,
the TV show.
being made by Rob. Who's
Are they
last name
allowed
is-
to announce TV shows at E3?
I mean,
Like,
they
is that legal?
announced a movie as well.
Yeah, true.
Which
Yes. So funny show. It's on the new Apple service, and everyone in the audience went, "Aw!" And then they realized that piracy exists. So that's Always Sunny. Creatives making that, but only starring Rob. And then Albed and some other people that I know, but I can't remember. Well, I mean, Albed, I didn't know his name either. I just knew his character name. I know the
they're
actors.
from
I just don't know their
Community. I
names.
can't remember the rest of them.
and
Old man,
we also got David Leitch's Division movie.
which we very briefly thought said David Lynch.
We did.
Which would be fucking incredible.
And then bad. But yeah, no. So David Leitch, he, for those of you who don't know who he is, he was the co-director and producer, co-director of John Wick 1, and producers for 2 and 3 as well. So he's also one of the stuntmen that have been in the industry for 20 years.
So it could actually be pretty good.
So yeah, like who the team making it have all the tools at their disposal to turn it into a very, very good action film.
Okay, anyone else with any other business? And obviously, all the games we played, we didn't really talk about any of them, but I mean, there was more pressing business.
Roller Champions is fun, but get it, use it, play it. You've got no, it's over. You've missed it.
Oh, is it over? Oh.
It will be when this comes
Oh,
out.
when this comes out, yeah. So
Callum's
Roller
understanding
Champions
it
was
better than I am.
Ubisoft releasing like a roller derby game, which is sort of trying to go for that Rocket League sort of vibe. I haven't enjoyed it as much as Callum has.
But I've won a game.
Yes. Oh yeah, I barely got to touch the ball.
Yeah.
I had it for 2 seconds.
I won a game and scored the winning goal. So yeah, no, it's fun.
Ooh, it is victory does make things all the sweeter.
It does.
Yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end then. As we end, who won E3?
Microsoft.
Me.
It's not a competition, guys.
Yes, it is.
But Microsoft technically did, yeah.
Freedom Finger won.
Baldur's Gate.
Just so you don't put Microsoft ahead of Nintendo?
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
I love that
Nintendo-
Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo
It
did
was
Nintendo
awesome.
3.
Yes, but Keanu Reeves was on stage.
Keanu Reeves was pretty fucking good. Oh, good. Anyway, we all know Freedom Finger's the best. Thank you for watching or listening to 8.5bit. You can show our website, 8.5bit.com, at Twitter and Facebook. Please like to share anything like that. Subscribe to us on iTunes. And if you do, please leave a review because reviews help us share the love. I can't talk anymore. You can join our Discord if you want to join in live, or you just want to join in with our general crap during the week, which
It's
is
fun.
Of which there is much.
There's lots.
Yeah, especially during E3. There's a lot of people talking, a lot of people not watching it because they're waiting up for spoilers. What we did this year, we did a viewing party for the first day of conferences, and it was actually quite fun. I think I'll do it as a thing from now on. We might just make it bigger and better each year. Next time we'll have streamers.
Ooh.
Thank you for watching. I've been your host, Paul.
I've been Sam.
I'm still Amy.
I'm Cal.
There we go. We worked it out just with the power of pointing.
Yay!
Catch you later, folk. I forgot to put the S on the end of folks.
So you just went...